Chapter 1365. The snowstorm continued, and those people continued to search for Lin Xian and the rest. This young master clearly gave us a location nearby, and they haven't left for more than an hour. But this snowstorm is too big, we really can't find them. The 5 of them walked in the snowstorm. Search. Since they're nearby, then we can definitely find them. Right now the entire North Pole is covered in snow. It's a good thing that they're not moving. It's easier to find them than them wandering around. An old man said indifferently. Although they're not moving, our visibility is only 3 to 4 meters, and our divine senses are completely disrupted in this environment. It's not easy to find them. If they can go to a demon clan faction to attack, then it'll be easy to find them. It was difficult to find people in such an environment, but it was easy to find a faction. This was also why Lin Xian and the others chose to set up an ambush in such a place instead of going to a faction and taking it down while they were at it. Because they were sure that if they were enemies, there would definitely be warriors with spatial attributes. Their speed would definitely be very fast. They would definitely find a faction even faster. They couldn't find Lin Xian, but it was easy for Lin Xian to find them. Although Lin Xian had already lost their footprints, but at least Lin Xian knew where they went. And since Lin Xian wanted to lure them here, there were many ways to do so. I hope it's an enemy. Not far from them, about 300 meters away, there was a snow slope between them. Lin Xian was there. And why did Lin Xian hope it was an enemy? If they were enemies, then Lin Xian could be at ease. He knew that things wouldn't go so smoothly. If they didn't meet any enemies, Lin Xian would always be on tenterhooks. Myriad lightning heavenly prison. Boom! Lin Xian directly released a divine rank martial skill on the spot. In this noisy environment, it attracted everyone's attention. The release of a divine rank martial skill, no matter if it was power or movement, would definitely cover up the snowstorm here. There's someone. The 5 people from the Xiao family suddenly felt a powerful force and sound. They all looked to the left. It's on the left. There should only be us and Lin Xian's team here. That might is a lightning attributed martial skill. I'm afraid it was released by Lin Xian. Go. So then the 5 of them sped away. When they arrived, the snowstorm was too strong, so they still couldn't see Lin Xian, even though Lin Xian was only a few dozen meters in front of them. Third brother. Got it. Following this, a man released a powerful wind attribute power, changing the surrounding wind. The wind and snow flew in another direction, and the visibility in front of them increased by a lot. At the same time, they saw Lin Xian's figure. Then why didn't they use this method to find people? It was simple. They thought that they were in the dark, so how could they expose themselves? But now they were extremely confident that the people in front of them were definitely Lin Xian and the others, so they released their power. It's Lin Xian. After seeing Lin Xian, the 5 of their eyes suddenly lit up. And what was Lin Xian doing at this moment? In front of him was a very large demonic beast. It was already dead and covered in blood. This demonic beast wasn't killed by Lin Xian, but was created by Lin Xian using the law of creation. Lin Xian didn't have the ability to create a life that required his own divine rank martial skill to kill. Creating life, especially animals, was the most difficult part of the law of creation. Lin Xian couldn't do it. Even if Lin Xian wanted to create a kitten or a dog now, he would probably have to be in the absolute void stage to do it. Because that was a life. However, creating a corpse was much simpler. Lin Xian did this for the sake of putting on a good show. Otherwise, if he used a divine rank martial skill to attract them over, but didn't have anything to show that he needed to use a divine rank martial skill, then it would be too suspicious. Now that there was a demonic beast corpse here, in the eyes of others, Lin Xian didn't use the divine rank martial skill for no reason. Naturally, there would be no doubt that he used the divine rank martial skill to kill the demonic beast. This was very reasonable. Wait, the other 6 people aren't here. They are all in this area. Other than killing Lin Xian, it's best to kill everyone else except for Morongyu. This way, the young master and the others can successfully advance. This Lin Xian doesn't know us, so let's not alert him first. Let's attack directly and approach him first. The 8 stars of the absolute void stage old man said. Okay. Then they walked towards Lin Xian. You are? Lin Xian didn't know whether they were friend or foe, so he wouldn't expose himself first and suspect that they were enemies. The 5 of us are warriors from Ice Sea City. We came here from afar to collect the Tianshan Ice Lotus and see if there are any demonic beast forces that we can eliminate. We didn't expect to encounter this snowstorm and delay our journey. Little friend, why did you come here at such a young age? This place is too far away from the human territory. It's too dangerous. The 8 stars of the Absolute Void Stage old man looked at Lin Xian and said with an amiable expression, although they had to kill Lin Xian, they couldn't kill just one Lin Xian. It was definitely not enough. They even had to kill at least 2 of the other 6 people. Therefore, it was best to find out some information from Lin Xian. Lin Xian frowned. There didn't seem to be any flaws in his words. Sky Marshal Conference. Lin Xian said. I see. So you're participants of the Sky Marshal Conference. This snowstorm has affected your progress. It's okay. If we're affected, others will be affected too, Lin Xian said. That's true. The old man nodded. It wasn't good to continue. If they continued, it would be easy to be exposed. Although killing just one Lin Xian was already very profitable, and this was also their young master's order to kill Lin Xian's death was not enough. It might be difficult for them to kill everyone, but killing 2 or 3 shouldn't be a problem. Lin Xian then said. Then I won't disturb you anymore. We're not going the same way. Goodbye. After saying that, Lin Xian cupped his fists and looked like he was about to leave. If they insisted on following him, or found some excuse to follow him, then they were definitely enemies, because there was no benefit for them to follow him. In terms of strength, Lin Xian glanced at them. They were at least 4 stars of the Absolute Void Stage. As a heavenly venerable, it was impossible for him to help them. Ha ha ha, meeting is fate. Why don't we go together? If we reach a place on the way, we can help you. What do you think? But at the same time, if we find the Tianshan Ice Lotus, we hope that you can help us pick it. The old man smiled. Lin Xian was delighted. He had already broken down. Where? You. That's right, it was the word you that he didn't care about. Chapter 1366. How did they know that Lin Xian was with a group and not alone? Or was it just an accidental grammatical mistake? Lin Xian did not think so. First of all, he wanted to follow him and help him. This was not normal. Although he said later that this was a mutually beneficial matter, Lin Xian and the rest would help them find the Tianshan Ice Lotus if he helped them. Lin Xian and the rest had to help them find it. There seemed to be no problem. However, with the addition of the word you, Lin Xian had already decided. 5 higher void stage cultivators, what the hell? However, Lin Xian naturally had to beat them at their own game. This isn't too good, right? Lin Xian seemed to be particularly hesitant. There's nothing bad about it. It's just a mutually beneficial matter. If you don't say anything, and I don't say anything, the 3 major forces probably don't have the ability to see your every move, right? The old man said. That's not impossible. With the ability of the 3 major forces, it might really be possible. Lin Xian. Don't worry. This place is so big and so far away. None of you have any surveillance cameras, so they won't be able to see you. We just hope that the more people there are, the more likely we'll be able to find the extremely rare Tianshan Ice Lotus. However, this place is very dangerous, so ordinary warriors won't dare to come with us. The old man said. If that's the case, Lin Xian's eyes suddenly lit up. If we can get the help of the seniors, we won't even have much pressure to attack an SSS rank force. I just hope that the 5 of you can be trusted. Don't worry, we've met by chance. A few people have already cooperated with us, and we've also helped them a little. As for who they are, we won't even ask for their names. We'll only be with you for a day. How many points we can bring you in this day will depend on you. The old man said. Lin Xian smiled in his heart. They had completely broken down. Yes, this place is very dangerous. It makes sense that you didn't bring a large number of people here, but what are you 5 higher void stage cultivators afraid of? Since you're looking for something, can't you 5 higher void stage cultivators search separately? Must they be together? Therefore, Lin Xian had already determined that they were enemies. The rest was to beat them at their own game and lead them to the ambush location. All right. I still have a few teammates. Now I'll bring you 5 seniors to look for my teammates. I'll also talk to them. Since it's a cooperation, it's a win-win situation. Let's go. I'll bring you seniors to look for my teammates, Lin Xian said. They nodded. That's great. But don't waste too much time. Our time is very precious, the old man said. He didn't know that he had already broken down and was still pretending to be them. Naturally, our time is also very precious. Lin Xian nodded. Then Lin Xian led them to the ambush area. On the other side, Xiao Yin and the others had just finished a battle. At this moment, they were hiding from the wind and snow in the territory of their original force while resting. At this moment, Xiao Yin took a look at his phone. Hooked. This was a message from the old man. Xiao Yun's eyes suddenly lit up. Then he quickly found Duanling Xiao and gave him a look. Duanling Xiao roughly understood and followed him out. Fengling frowned as she looked at the 2 people who walked out. This was not the first time she had seen the 2 of them whispering. What could the 2 men not say in front of each other? Why did they have to do it in secret? It was definitely something shameful. However, because she wasn't familiar with the 2 of them, Fengling definitely didn't know what they were planning. Originally, she wanted to eavesdrop, but after thinking about it, she was so strong. What could they plan? So she didn't go. They've taken the bait, Xiao Yin said. Really? Xiao Yin nodded. They've eliminated at least 3 people, including Lin Xian. Don't worry, Morong, you won't die. Ling Ying and Han Chuxue won't die either. The only ones who will die will be Lin Xian, Wang Xintong, Wu Yuhan, or Xiao Xingyue. So what if Qin likes Xiao Xingyue? Be careful. If Qin guesses it, if the one who dies is Xiao Xingyue, he might turn hostile. It's okay, don't worry. Just wait for the good news. Okay. The corner of Duan Ling Zhao's mouth curled up slightly. On the other side, Lin Xian brought the 5 absolute void stage cultivators to the ambush area. Ling Ying and the others pretended that nothing had happened and sat there eating hot pot. When they took a look and saw Lin Xian bringing people over, they already knew that these people were enemies. However, they really didn't expect that Lin Xian would bring them over in such a peaceful way. They originally thought that there was a high chance that they were chasing after Lin Xian and Lin Xian escaped here and lured them over. However, when the 5 people saw that Ling Ying and the other girls were still eating hot pot as if they didn't notice and were on guard, they were even more relieved. Come, girls. Let me introduce you to a few people. Lin Xian shouted and the girls stood up. What about them? Lin Xian then circled around the 5 absolute void stage cultivators as he spoke. The 5 absolute void stage cultivators were waiting for an instant to make their move. They could make their move now, but they were transmitting their voices to each other. They were preparing to make their move at the same time. The 5 of them cooperated extremely well, so that they wouldn't be able to react in time and get rid of a few of them. These are the seniors who are here to help us. As Lin Xian spoke, he had already circled behind them. As for them, they'll be dead soon. The pupils of those people suddenly shrank. In the next instant, Lin Xian's lightning struck them. At the same time, they who were already well coordinated, instantly released the shadow prison. In the next instant, Han Chuxue and Xiao Xingyue opened the cold force domain that they released. In the next instant, Wang Xintong opened the space seal that she had prepared beforehand. Following that, Morong Yu released the space seal and brought the 7 of them away. All of this happened in an instant. In the blink of an eye, the 7 of them completed all of their cooperation. What's going on? The 5 absolute void stage cultivators crawled up and realized that they were actually in an unknown large formation. This large formation had an extremely strong space seal ability. At the same time, the shadow prison imprisoned them. After that, a terrifying cold force hit them in the face. In the blink of an eye, their bodies were already covered in frost. On the other hand, Lin Xian and the others were standing tens of meters away, smiling as they looked at the 5 of them. Little friend, what's the meaning of this? Little friend? Don't call me that. I can't accept it. The corner of Lin Xian's mouth curled up. Their pupils constricted. Had they been discovered? But when had they been discovered? It couldn't have been just now, right? With their strength, this large formation had definitely been condensed for more than a moment. Release the space. One of them shouted. It's useless. There's an even stronger space seal here. What? What realm are they at? You're at the 7 stars of the absolute void stage. You can't break through? They've been prepared for a long time. The corner of Lin Xian's mouth curled up slightly. Start attacking. Let them feel what despair is. Lin Xian condensed his lightning and prepared to attack. Linging bent down and rubbed a snowball. Then he asked, will the snowball hit them? Lin Xian then smiled and said, yes, torture them. Damn it. How dare they mess with me? Snowball. Chapter 1367. Of course, the snowballs couldn't kill them. They were all at the great virtual realm. Even an avalanche couldn't kill them. But the truly powerful thing about this formation was that it could imprison them in space and the terrifying cold power. The snowballs were just something that made their minds explode. Then the 7 of them sat there and ate hot pot, throwing snowballs, competing to see who could throw them accurately. Of course, by casually injecting their own spirit energy into the snowballs, the simple snowballs became anti-aircraft cannons. They were extremely powerful. I say, little Ying, you can't do it. You only hit 1 out of 5? Lin Xian mocked. Tisk, that's the great virtual realm, okay? It's already good enough to hit it. Yeah. I hit it again. Wang Xintong made a victory pose. These were enemies who wanted to kill them. No matter what, they couldn't be merciful. The 5 of them miserably kept dodging the powerful snowballs thrown at them. But the space had completely sealed them. The terrifying cold power was freezing them. Their bodies were getting colder and colder. Their movements were getting slower and slower. And the frost on their bodies was getting thicker and thicker. Little friend, what do you mean by this? We want to help you. Why do you still want to kill us? The old man still refused to give up and was still pretending. Yo, you're still pretending. Lin Xian looked at them with a smile. Stop pretending. Even if you continue to pretend, you will die without a doubt. Even if you are not enemies, I'm sorry, we are from the Evil Fiend Hall. Isn't it normal for people from the Evil Fiend Hall to kill people? Lin Xian grinned. What? You are from the Evil Fiend Hall? They continued to pretend there. It was as if they didn't know that they were from the Evil Fiend Hall, because they had already tried it with their powerful strength. Damn, it was really strange. Why couldn't they break through the formation set up by a few Empyreans? They had forgotten the law of creation. Or rather, they didn't know at all. Stop pretending, it's a headache. Lin Xian shook his head. The old man's eyes narrowed. Everyone, release your full strength and break through the seal. Huff boom, however, it was completely useless. Let's settle it. Little Xintong, take care of them. Lin Xian said. Ah. Wang Xintong was stunned. Among them, Wang Xintong's realm was 8 stars, while the others were 9 stars. It was estimated that after this round, all of them would be 10 stars. However, in terms of talent, Wang Xintong was indeed slightly inferior to everyone else. With less talent, there would be less experience. To put it simply, if they killed the same demon beast, they would get 1,000 experience points, but Wang Xintong would only get 900. This was because of her talent. Although there was a system and everyone leveled up by killing monsters, if one's talent was not enough, they would not be able to reach a higher level. It doesn't matter how many powerful monsters you kill. The 5 people inside were frozen in place, unable to move at all. Even the absolute void stage couldn't do anything about it. Our realms have to be unified. Lin Xian pinched her pink cheeks. She was getting bolder. In the past, Lin Xian didn't dare to do this in front of other girls, but now, everyone knew. It was just that the girls might roll their eyes at him. At most, they would roll their eyes at Ling Ying. After all, the girls' personalities were there for all to see. Okay. Although Wang Xintong was a little embarrassed, she was so familiar with everyone, so there was no need to be pretentious. Holy light burst. Water dragon pulse. 5 dragons emerge from water. Boom. Wang Xintong continuously released big moves, instantly killing the 5 powerless virtuality realm cultivators. Then her aura rose. Aren't you worried that we killed the wrong people? Han Chuxue walked to Lin Xian's side and asked. Because until now they weren't completely sure that these 5 people were really enemies. Because until they died, they didn't say anything else. They didn't fly into a rage out of humiliation. I'm worried. If we kill the wrong people, then so be it. What else can we do? Lin Xian shrugged. You don't really think of yourself as someone from the evil fiend temple, do you? Lin Xian shook his head. No, of course I'm aware of that. Actually, we shouldn't have made a move if we weren't 100% sure. Although I heard what you said just now and I basically felt that they were enemies, but there's really no proof. Ling Ying said. I'm worried too, but we'll know once we take a look. Lin Xian then walked to the side of their corpses and found their phones. There were no other goods in the spatial ring. It seemed that they had all been emptied before they came. And there was nothing that could identify them at all. This made them feel that these people were here to complete a mission, and it was a shameful mission. There was a high chance that they were here to kill them. There was only one, and only the old man had one. Then Lin Xian used the law of creation to create a new password and unlock the phone. There was only one contact in the phone. It could be seen that both the phone and the number were new. This already showed that they had come with a target, because they were very careful in order not to expose anything. The only friend was also a smurf, and their chat records had been deleted. They're quite careful. Lin Xian. Do you want to say something? Wu Yuhan frowned slightly and asked. No, it's easy to expose ourselves by replying. Let's wait for them to find us. Let's take a break first. It should be soon. All right. Sure enough, about 30 minutes later, the phone vibrated. Lin Xian then glanced at it. That person had sent a message. How is it? A few of the girls quickly gathered around Lin Xian and gave him advice. What's going on? He's asking how it is. Is he asking if they killed us? But until now, we're not 100% sure that they're looking for us. Ling Ying said. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. It should be. Although I'm not 100% sure, I'm 90% sure. After about 10 minutes, Lin Xian replied, It's done. On the other side, Xiaoyan almost jumped up. Beautiful, is Lin Xian dead? When they saw the message, they were completely sure. Damn. How many people are trying to kill me? Lin Xian was convinced. He's dead. Lin Xian then replied. What about the others? Which 2 did you kill? Xiaoyan quickly asked. When this sentence came out, the girls looked at each other. They all understood. It was Feng Ling's team. Why? There were many people who killed Lin Xian, and it was hard to determine who it was. But why did they kill 2 of them? It was for the assessment ranking. If they only killed Lin Xian, it might be a personal grudge, but it wouldn't stop them from entering the top 10. But if they killed 2 or 3 more of them, Feng Ling's team would directly advance. Chapter 1368. Although it was just a guess, they knew it in their hearts. Of course, they knew that it was definitely not the intention of all 9 of them. It could only be done secretly by one of them. As for who it was, Lin Xian had a rough idea. Xiao Yun, Duanling Xiao, Su Jiming, Qin Ming. Among the 4 of them, it was most likely Xiao Yun and Duanling Xiao. But there was no evidence. Lin Xian thought for a while. If it was Xiao Yun and Duanling Xiao, who would they hope to not die? Ling Ying and Morongyu then, Wang Xintong and Wu Yuhan. The others ran away, and Lin Xian tried to be the hero. Lin Xian replied. Well done. You should go back quickly to avoid being exposed. Wait, where are their corpses? They were just destroyed. Lin Xian sent a message. What a pity. I wanted to see what Lin Xian's corpse looked like. So what if it was destroyed? Go back quickly. Let's not contact each other anymore. Then, his friend request was deleted. He didn't know who it was and he couldn't ask. He couldn't talk too much. Let him be happy for now. Lin Xian glanced at the girls. It's someone from Feng Ling's team. It's a guy. And a guy who hates you. Ling Ying said. Xiao Yun and Duanling Xiao are the most likely. Lin Xian. Morongyu's eyes flashed with murderous intent. I'll tell father. Lin Xian, just send this message to your father. You don't have to do anything else. Let them know what's going on. Okay, I got it. That's despicable. Wang Xintong clenched her fists. They never wanted to harm anyone, nor did they want to use underhanded means to win the competition. However, there would always be people who would harm them or even kill them. There's nothing we can do about it. This is reality. This is the human heart. Lin Xian said. So now let him be happy for a few days first. Little Xintong, destroy the mobile phone that you gave out when you competed with me. Let them think that you are really dead. Little Yuhan, don't destroy your mobile phone. Just leave it where it is. After all, a dead person's mobile phone might not necessarily be broken. I really want to see how he will react when he sees that we are still alive. It will definitely be fun. Lin Xian smirked. It's so bad. It didn't matter if the phone was destroyed. They were a team. As long as one of them had it, it would be fine. Let's go. Let's hurry up and show them how happy we are when we're already dozens of kilometers away. Shua. On the other side, Xiaoyun looked at his phone. Lingying Han Chuxue, Xiao Xingyue, and Morongyu were already dozens of kilometers away. As for the other three, two of them had already lost their signals. Only Wu Yuhan's signal was left at its original position. Xiaoyun secretly gave Duan Ling Xiao a look. Duan Ling Xiao felt that it was unbelievable. Lin Xian died just like that? He felt that this person was really hard to kill. However, Xiaoyun's headquarters wouldn't give him such fake news, right? Duan Ling Xiao nodded and looked at his mobile phone. Sure enough, their signal had disappeared. That's great. At this time, Feng Ling looked at her mobile phone and couldn't help but frown. Previously, Lin Xian's signal had disappeared and then returned. However, why did it disappear again this time? Wang Xintong's signal was also gone. Wu Yuhan's signal was dozens of kilometers away from theirs. This was obviously not right. What happened? Everyone, take advantage of this snowstorm. We can't waste time. Let's go to the next place and catch up with Lin Xian's team as soon as possible. Duan Ling Xiao stood up and said, Okay. Hey, why did two of their signals disappear? And one of them fell behind? Su Jiming said doubtfully. Maybe they just encountered a big battle. Xiaoyun said. Feng Ling's beautiful eyes looked at Xiaoyun and didn't say anything. She felt that it was a little strange. Was it related to her and Duan Ling Xiao's whispers just now? She didn't want to think about it. With Lin Xian's strength, there shouldn't be any problems. Let's go. Next. 2 days later. Something's not right. Duan Ling Xiao walked to Xiaoyun's side. 2 days have passed. Logically speaking, they should only be left with 4 people. Why is it that their speed of conquering didn't slow down at all? Duan Ling Xiao said with a frown. That's fine. Look at the forces they've been fighting for the past 2 days. They're all S and SS rank. They're no longer going to SSS rank forces. Previously, they desperately went to SSS rank forces. This proves that they no longer have the capital to go to SSS rank forces. Now there are only 3 SSS rank forces left and they will all be ours. Adding up the 600,000 points, we can make up for the difference. Xiaoyun said. This makes sense. Of the remaining 3 SSS rank forces, 2 were in the northernmost region, and 1 was in the westernmost region. They were currently heading to the northernmost region to take down those 2 SSS rank forces, and then go to the westernmost region. How are we going to fight? Lin Xian's group was hiding in an S-rank force that they had just conquered. The snowstorm outside had yet to stop. They still have 5 days. They went to the northernmost 2 SSS rank forces. After that, they'll need at least 3 days to go to the westernmost region. We'll fight nearby first and let them have a comfortable time. On the 3rd day, we'll take down the SSS rank force in the westernmost region. We'll win for sure. Alright. 3 days later. They finished off the 2 SSS rank forces and thought that victory was in their hands. Then they took a look. Not good. Lin Xian's group went to the last SSS rank force. Chu, he said with a frown. If they take down this SSS rank force, we won't have any hope of turning the tables. Qi Tianqing said. Xiaoyun sneered in disdain. It could be seen that they were anxious. They only had 4 people left, and they still wanted to go to the SSS rank force? Wasn't that courting death? They were anxious. They also knew that if they couldn't take down this SSS rank force, they would be turned around. However, he definitely couldn't tell them not to worry. Otherwise, they would be exposed. Let's go. We'll go there at full speed. It'll probably take a day to get there. They're definitely done. We might as well not waste this day and go to the other SSS rank forces. Maybe we can fight them. Chuhi said. Go. We must go. Xiaoyun said. It'll be a waste of time if we go. Do you think they can't take down this SSS rank force? Then why didn't they go to that SSS rank force during these 3 days? Why did they have to wait until we're done before going? Xiaoyun said. He definitely couldn't tell them that Murongyu's group was desperate. There's only one reason. That SSS rank force is very difficult to fight. They had no choice but to go after seeing that we're done. Xiaoyun said. All right. Then let's go. Chapter 1369. There were only a few days left. It was about time for Lin Xian and the others to take down that SSS rank organization. If they took down this SSS rank organization and added on to their own lead, the 7 of them would definitely advance to the next round of the God's Awakening door. Moreover, Feng Ling's team had 9 people to share the points, while they only had 7 people. Their total points were higher, so they had more points. Therefore, even if this SSS rank force was given to them, Lin Xian and the rest would definitely advance under normal circumstances. It was just that it was safer to take it down. Moreover, if they didn't want free experience points, why should they give it to them? On the other side, Feng Ling's team was rushing towards Lin Xian's team as fast as they could. Duanling Xiao and Xiaoyun, the 2 insiders, were actually not worried. After all, from their point of view, that team only had 4 people left. They were also staking everything on one throw, fighting with their backs against the wall. They couldn't die and fail to qualify for the God's Awakening door, right? However, they couldn't show that they weren't worried. Otherwise, they would be exposed. One day later, when they arrived, Lin Xian and the rest had already taken down that SSS rank force and were already yo-yoing. What? When they saw that the SSS rank force had been marked with Murongyu's mark on their phone, they were both dumbfounded. It couldn't be, right? There were only 4 of them. How could they have taken care of an SSS rank force? Unless they had advanced to the absolute void stage. Was that possible? It was possible, because the quality of the demonic beasts they fought was higher than theirs. However, was it really so easy to break through to the absolute void stage? This time we're done. Su Jiming sighed and said, Feng Ling, what do you think we should do now? Xiaoyun looked at Feng Ling and asked. Although Lin Xian was dead and his biggest problem was gone, he felt very comfortable. However, they probably wouldn't be able to enter the God's Awakening door. No, that wasn't right. Not necessarily. Why? If there were only 4 people left in Lin Xian's team, they would only be in the top 4. As for the remaining 6 spots, 6 out of the 9 of them would advance to the next round. When the time came, they would split their points evenly. Whoever had the highest points would advance to the next round. Duanling Xiao, Feng Ling, Qi Tianqing, Chu He, and Feng Qinghao would definitely advance. The one with the highest score should be him, Xiaoyun. That was right. If they wanted to advance, it would be the 6 of them. Although they were in the same team, the other people's scores in the first 2 rounds were not as high as theirs, so, when he thought of this, Xiaoyun felt more comfortable. Duanling Xiao didn't panic from the beginning to the end. He was only pretending to see if Xiaoyun could deal with Lin Xian. Because even if Lin Xian and the rest of the team had 7 people, Duanling Xiao's score would still be the best in this team. Only Feng Ling and Chu He's score would be higher than him. No matter how bad he was still ranked 10th. He was just worried. There's no other way. There's no chance to surpass them. Feng Ling said. Therefore, the remaining 3 spots should be chosen from among us. Feng Ling said. She would definitely advance. Chu He's score was higher than Duanling Xiao's, but lower than hers. Chu He should also advance. Then there was only 1 spot left. This last spot should be Duanling Xiao's, but, as for the others, There were more than 200 people. They also had experts. Although the possibility of them having a higher score than them wasn't high, this wasn't something Feng Ling considered. They were indeed a team, but she had tried her best. All of this was cruel. Then are we still fighting? Fight. Continue fighting. 2 days later, they were already rushing to the top of the North Pole. Those who could see the division of their forces were only some people from the 3 major forces. Some families could go over to take a look, but they couldn't do so too many times. Some people already had an idea in their hearts. One team after another had already rushed over. In fact, many people had already given up halfway through their journey. They saw that Lin Xian and Feng Ling's teams had even defeated an SSS-ranked force. What else could they persevere for? This SSS-ranked force had 200,000 points. Even if it was divided equally among 10 people, that would be 20,000 points per person. More often than not, they would treat this as an opportunity to grind for levels. Those experts and those families had really waited here for half a month. Some might have left midway and gone to the next city to rest for a few days, but they were definitely here today. Feng Ling and the others came at midnight. After they returned, their phones were taken away. They could only wait here. Duan Ling Xiao and Xiao Yun sat at the edge, waiting for Lin Xian. No, Lin Xian was already dead. They were waiting for Morong Yu and the others to arrive. What were Lin Xian and the others doing at this moment? That's right. They were sleeping. They were probably at a location about 100 kilometers away from the North Pole. Then, Lin Xian created a small house to shelter them from the wind. The few of them hid inside and rested. They knew in their hearts that they had already advanced. They would definitely win. All that was left was to see who Feng Ling's team was. When they saw that they were still alive, it was as if they had seen a ghost. After half a month of fighting and running around, they really didn't sleep for half a month. At most, they only rested for 1 or 2 hours. Even if they were Sky Venerables, they were really tired. Why didn't they directly go to the North Pole to rest? They couldn't rest there. They would ask all sorts of questions and exchange all sorts of pleasantries. It was better to rest here. Moreover, Lin Xian could be together with the 6 girls. He didn't know whose breasts he would pinch when he fell asleep. In any case, it was very comfortable. They just had to set a time. They would arrive at the North Pole at 6. When they woke up at 5, Lin Xian and Morong Yu's space would arrive directly. They haven't returned yet? It was already 5 in the morning. Duan Ling Xiao and Xiao Yun sat there smoking. Could it be that they didn't make it in time? They wouldn't make such a mistake. Duan Ling Xiao shook his head and said, "What if?" Actually, they had another way to turn the tables. That was to take advantage of the current situation to find them and stop them. They wouldn't be able to come to the North Pole before 6. That would also be considered as being eliminated. However, there was no other way. They couldn't do it. Xiaoyan didn't panic. There were only 4 people left. 6 of the 9 people in his team had advanced. He would definitely advance. No, it wasn't inevitable. He would also advance to 10th place. What if something went wrong? But the possibility shouldn't be high. What team could be better than them? On the other side, Lin Xian was kicked open in his sleep. Lin Xian rubbed his eyes with his fragrant hand. Then he sat up in a daze and looked at Linging, who was sitting there. "Why did you kick me?" Lin Xian asked in a daze. "Where did you reach out your hand just now?" Lin Xian, F***CK. We're already an old couple. Can't you reach out a little? I'm talking about Morong Yu. Lin Xian. Chapter 1370. Lin Xian looked down in confusion. Morong Yu was sleeping soundly. He had even dug out her and exposed her penis. Asterisk cough cough cough. Asterisk Lin Xian quickly coughed dryly. Morong Yu had been very tired these days. Plus, she had gotten used to it. After half a year, she had been pinched to sleep by Lin Xian many times. She had gotten used to it. Otherwise, no matter how tired she was, she would have woken up after being pinched for an entire night. Bastard. Linging gritted her teeth and glared at Lin Xian. As expected. As expected. Even Morong Yu had been ruined by this scumbag. Ah. So annoying. Cough cough shoo. Lin Xian quickly tidied up Morongyu's clothes. If you weren't leaning on me, I wouldn't have touched her. I would have touched you. I swear. Lin Xian looked at Ling Ying and said, Scram. Scumbag. Ling Ying rolled her eyes. Fine, she was used to it. Actually, she had already prepared herself for every pretty girl around Lin Xian to be Lin Xian's woman. No matter how outstanding the girl was, but just looking at it made her unhappy. Wrong, I was wrong, Lin Xian said, feeling wronged. Humph. Wang Xintong rubbed her sleepy eyes and sat up. What are you guys talking about? No, nothing. It's time to get up. We should get going. I'll go wash up. Then she yawned and walked out. The other girls were also woken up by them. 10 minutes later, everyone was ready to go. Let's go. It's 5:10. Then Lin Xian released his space. After landing, Morongyu also released her space. They arrived at the bottom of the North Pole and started climbing. If only they couldn't come. Xiaoyan sighed. Even if Ling Ying died, he was still willing. If he had known earlier, he would have ordered his men to kill all of them, not leaving a single one alive. Only the heavens knew that with only 4 people left, they could still destroy an SSS rank organization. However, at this moment, the figures of 7 people gradually appeared in their sight. Xiaoyan and Duan Lingzhao's eyes narrowed. Lin Xian. It's Lin Xian. Xiaoyan stood up, his face full of disbelief. Duan Lingzhao frowned. From the moment Xiaoyan said that Lin Xian was already dead, he actually felt that it was somewhat inconceivable, and felt that it wasn't too real. He felt that Lin Xian was like a sticky candy that he could not shake off no matter how hard he tried. It would not be easy to kill him. As expected, the accident still happened. He's back. Lin Xian and the others came in front of Xiaoyan and Duan Lingzhao. Xiaoyan tried his best to control himself, so that he would not reveal any clues. Good morning to the 2 of you. Are the results out? Lin Xian said with a smile. Not yet. Duan Lingzhao replied indifferently. I wish the 2 of you good results. Then we'll go over first. Then Lin Xian and the others walked away. Ka. Xiaoyan clenched his fists tightly. Didn't you say that they're dead? Duan Lingzhao then looked at Xiaoyan and said coldly. Xiaoyan was the most uncomfortable. They didn't die, which meant that there were 7 of them. 7 people, only 3 spots were left for them. And Xiaoyan was definitely not one of these 3 spots. Duan Lingzhao was also very uncomfortable. 7 people, 3 spots, he should be in 10th place. The only ones in front of him were Feng Ling and Chu He, but he was always afraid that something bad would happen. From the moment he saw Lin Xian, he was especially uneasy. How would I know? Xiaoyan's mentality exploded. Not only could he not enter the God's awakening door, but Lin Xian was also not dead. Wait a minute. Xiaoyan suddenly realized something. If Lin Xian and the rest are not dead, then the one who sent me the message is. Xiaoyan frowned. It's Lin Xian. Duan Lingzhao said. Xiaoyan's heart was suddenly shocked. Wait. He didn't say anything wrong, right? He recalled carefully. No. Absolutely not. He definitely didn't say anything wrong. At most, he suspected one of the 9 of them, but he couldn't be sure which one it was. Thinking of this, Xiaoyan let out a long sigh of relief. Wait a minute. Could it be that his men had a slip of the tongue? Lin Xian didn't ask, and he was too lazy to ask. He was afraid that asking would cause more trouble, so he simply didn't ask. Anyway, it was fine as long as he had a rough idea. You're on your own now, Duan Lingzhao said. Damn it. Xiaoyan clenched his fists tightly. Is it them? Morongyu asked. Lin Xian nodded. Seems like it. I think so too, Han Chushua said. But it's just a suspicion. Let's talk about it later. Anyway, they can't cause any trouble. After we advance to the absolute void stage, we don't have to worry too much. There was a big gap between domain and Empyrean. The gap between Empyrean and absolute void was even bigger. Moreover, whether it was time or space attributes, they would get a qualitative upgrade in the absolute void stage. Oh, good morning. Lin Xian saw Feng Ling and greeted her with a smile. Feng Ling nodded. Morning. Lin Xian froze for a moment. Oh, this chick actually replied to him? That was a bit strange. Why did Feng Ling reply to Lin Xian? She was still very unhappy with Lin Xian, but she was a person who was convinced Lin Xian was worthy of her admiration. She couldn't beat Lin Xian, so she was convinced by Lin Xian. But this didn't mean that she was happy with Lin Xian. Attack everyone to advance. Feng Ling looked at Lin Xian and the others and said. Then congratulations on advancing. Lin Xian said with a smile. Feng Ling nodded and walked away. They knew in their hearts whether or not they would advance. Lin Xian and the others, including Feng Ling, would definitely advance. There definitely wouldn't be any other accidents. However, it wasn't certain who the next two rankings would be. Little Xian. Ling Ying's father, Ling Hai, walked over with a smile. Xiao Runing and Xiao Zun also walked over. Including Morong Yu's father, Morong Feng, and Han Chushue's father, Han Guang, they all walked over. Only Wang Xintong and Wu Yuhan were left. The two of them looked at each other and smiled. They were used to it. This was because they no longer had any relatives in this world. They were indeed very envious of Ling Ying and the others. Even if it was Lin Xian, he still had a sister, Xintong. At this moment, a figure came over. Wang Xintong glanced over. Uncle Qin. Then she ran over happily. That's right, it was Qin Feng. Qin Feng had adopted Wang Xintong as his goddaughter. A lot of Wang Xintong's combat skills were learned from Qin Feng. Seeing him come, Wang Xintong was really happy. Ah, you've grown a lot in this period of time. Very good. Qin Feng smiled and rubbed Wang Xintong's hair. I have to thank Uncle Qin and everyone. Wu Yuhan smiled as she looked at this scene. Sister, if our family is still here, they would be here too. Wu Yuhan's sister, Wu Yunhua, was talking to Wu Yuhan's soul in her heart. Yes. Chapter 1371. Lin Xian exchanged pleasantries with them for a while, and then, Ling Hai urged Lin Xian to quickly give birth to a baby. Lin Xian was stunned. By the side, Ling Ying was dumbfounded. Dad, what are you talking about? Ling Ying blushed. Thankfully, there was no one around them. How old are you? Your mom and I should have a grandchild by now, right? Ling Hai said as he took a puff of his cigarette. Dad, didn't I tell you? Lin Xian and I still need to improve ourselves. We don't have the time. That was not wrong. This was a very important period for them. They were about to break through to the Great Void Realm. Once they reached the Great Void Realm, they would begin charging towards the Heavenly Dao Realm. Although the Heavenly Dao Realm was extremely difficult, they were still young. Furthermore, Ling Ying really did not want to have a baby. He felt that it would be a disaster. You and Lin Xian don't need to take care of it. Your mom and I will. Ling Hai said. That won't do. Ling Ying shook his head. Needless to say, the moment he mentioned a baby, Lin Xian missed his little Shirshir and little Tianny. They had not seen each other for half a month. No, it had been 20 days. It had almost been a month. He really missed them. You child. Ling Hai glared at Ling Ying. What was the main reason? Firstly, they did want a grandchild. Secondly, they were worried about Ling Ying's Shura consciousness. Whether or not the Shura would take over her soul and control her was still unknown. Since Ling Hai had handed Ling Ying to Lin Xian, he should trust Lin Xian. Yes, he had always trusted Lin Xian, but trust and reality were two different things. In fact, they were already mentally prepared for their daughter's death. There was no other way. It had been the same for generations. They would be filled with infinite hope, but at the same time, they would be prepared for the worst. There was still 1 year. That's right. There was only 1 year left. If she could leave him a grandchild this year, that would be a good thing. At least it would give them something to remember, and give Lin Xian something to remember. That was what the Ling Hai couple thought anyway. Of course, he hoped that his daughter would be fine. Even if he did not want his grandchildren, he still hoped that his daughter would be fine. But what if? Uncle, this kind of thing has to wait until little Ying and I are relaxed, right? Right now, we're probably going to the God's Awakening door soon. Don't tell me we're going to leave her pregnant at the God's Awakening door? Wouldn't that be suicide? Lin Xian said helplessly. At most, I won't go. Anyway, I heard that the God's Awakening door is very dangerous. But that's also a very important opportunity for us to improve our cultivation, Lin Xian said. Sai, forget it. Ling Hai sighed. You youngsters should think about your own matters, but Lin Xian, that matter. Lin Xian knew what Ling Hai was talking about, and he also knew why he kept urging him. He did not want his Ling family to have no descendants. Of course, he could choose to have another child with his wife, but they were afraid. When they gave birth to Ling Ying, they knew that such a day would come. They could have aborted Ling Ying long ago to prevent her from being born, but they could not bear to do so. That was their flesh and blood. That was their life. They chose to keep it. What if they had another child and it was a girl? Give birth? Abort? There was no end to it. The best outcome was that Lin Xian could really find a way. Lin Xian nodded. Uncle, I know. Okay, you guys talk. I'll go see when the rankings are out. The spirit then walked out of the tent. My dad told you about my spirit, right? Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian. Ling Hai did not know that Ling Ying already knew about this matter. She had heard it that day. Lin Xian looked at Ling Ying. Yeah. If there's really no other way, I'll leave before the deadline. Ling Ying lowered her head and said as she silently unwrapped a lollipop and placed it in her mouth. What are you saying? I know so many experts, including those at the Heavenly Tao realm. I don't believe there's no other way. Don't worry. No matter how powerful that Shura is, he only existed in the past. Didn't he still die? There's always a way. Yeah. Let's go out as well. The results will probably be out soon. Alright. Following that, Lin Xian and Ling Ying walked out. Outside, the people were already gathered there. The experts of the individual family clans had a rough idea of the situation after the faction's attack. After those people returned, they had a rough idea of what had happened. They only said that they were waiting for a miracle, or rather, they had to finish watching before leaving. That was the complete process. After this matter is over, I'll make a trip to the Wind Nation with you. Lin Xian walked to Wu Yuhan's side and secretly pinched her buttocks. Wu Yuhan gritted her teeth. Bastard. Why did he use so much force? Clearly, his sister was in charge of the body now. Sorry to trouble you, Wu Yuhan said lightly as she removed Lin Xian's hand. I'm your man. What's the trouble? Lin Xian said with a smile. Wu Yuhan had been investigating the grudges of her family clan all these years. As Lin Xian's woman, Lin Xian would naturally help her. Instead, Lin Xian would be worried if she went alone. Even though her realm was not low, after settling Wu Yuhan's matter, Lin Xian wanted to see if there was a chance to find Linya before heading to the door of God's awakening. After all, that senior had told Lin Xian that Linya would be fine. Instead, it was her good fortune. Hence, in Lin Xian's eyes, Zhao Mingyue was just a tool to raise Linya's realm. However, without Linya by his side, Lin Xian felt uneasy. There was one more thing waiting for Lin Xian. That was to reconstruct the physical body. Wu Yuhan and her sister, Wu Yunhua, could not possibly share the same body forever, right? They were two different people. Reconstructing the physical body did exist. It only required a specific method. When the time came, Lin Xian would have to ask Xiao Linglong and the rest. Alright, the most important reason was the twin sisters. The twin sisters, poo. That was not the most important thing. At this moment, the people from the three factions were calculating everyone's points. Combining the demon crystals that had been handed in and the map of the faction's territories, this was not a small task. It needed to be very meticulous. This concerned their future. Other than the door of God's awakening, the 11th to 20th place could also go to a place. That place did not have as many opportunities as the door of God's awakening, but it was also much less dangerous. There were opportunities as well. After a while, Morong Feng and the rest walked out of the tent. Everyone's gaze fell on them. Ka. Xiaoyan clenched his fists. Actually, he already knew the ranking in his heart. He was really unwilling to accept it. Even his own people had been killed by Lin Xian? How did he do it? Chapter 1372. Morong Feng and the rest glanced at the crowd. Then Morong Feng coughed dryly and said, cough. Now let me announce the final results of the Sky Martial Assembly. Everyone looked at him. We will not announce the final results. Everyone, please rest assured that the results were calculated by dozens of people from the three major forces. There will not be any mistakes. Of course, if you feel that there might be any mistakes, you can tell us. Morong Feng glanced at Duanling Xiao, Xiao Yin and the rest. Of course, he only glanced at them briefly. He had received the chat records from Morong Yu and understood what had happened. It was reasonable. After all, the hardest thing to understand in this world was the human heart. However, he did not have any evidence. He could only keep it a secret. He only hoped that the higher-ups of the three major forces would not interfere in this matter. Otherwise, he would have to worry about the rise and fall of the human race. Now, I will announce the names of the 11th to 20th place who will enter the land of heavenly wrath. The land of heavenly wrath was the place where the top 10 people would go. I will start from the lowest to the highest. Those who have advanced to the next round, please come to the magistrate to receive your honor badge. Please take good care of your honor badge. Also, if you have any doubts, you can tell us. Morong Feng glanced at the name list and said, 20th place, Zuyang. Then, a man walked out in surprise and took the badge of honor. No one was more surprised than him. 20th place, just right. This might be the lowest threshold. Maybe the rest of the people would have the same number of points as him. Although he was confident in his own strength, there were too many martial artists. Therefore, he was very lucky to be able to get 20th place. He was satisfied. He did not even think about getting into the top 10. 19th place Zhang Yang. 18th place Lu Chao. 17th place Feng Qingyu. Feng Qingyu walked out with a face full of surprise. Although he was in Wen Qim's team and got a lot of points, his previous results were not that good. Under normal circumstances, he would not even be in the top 20. However, he was pulled up by the points he got from the third round. He directly rushed to the 16th place. He was satisfied. Feng Qingyang nodded with satisfaction. This son of his did not ask to be in the top 10. He would be satisfied if he could be in the top 20. This scene caused some people to frown tightly. Why? Logically speaking, Lin Xian's team and Wen Qim's team should be in the top 16. Although they were evenly split, they had killed too many factions. Yes, it seemed like there would always be someone among the other 200+ people who could enter the top 16. But looking at the number of people they occupied, it was basically impossible. However, this Feng Qingyu was ranked 17th. This meant that the remaining people had either gone solo or joined other teams. Their score was higher than Lin Xian and Feng Ling's team of 16 people. Who could it be? Lin Xian thought for a moment. There were other strong ones, but the possibility was not high. The most likely one was Zhuge Feng. Lin Xian glanced at Zhuge Feng, who was standing in front of the Zhuge family. It should be him. Lin Xian did not pay much attention to Zhuge Feng. Zhuge Feng was doing this alone, so he did not know how high he could get. It would be difficult for him to get into the top 10. Number 16 Su Zhiming. Su Zhiming sighed helplessly. At least he could go to the land of heavenly wrath. He did not want to get into the top 10 anymore. Number 15 Qin Ming. Number 14 Xiao Yin. Xiao Yin clenched his fist. F***CK. Number 13 Qi Tianqing. Qi Tianqing walked out. This Qi Tianqing is only at number 13. There's no other way. Lin Xian's team of 7 will probably get into the top 10, so Qi Tianqing was eliminated. Number 12 Feng Qinghao. Feng Qinghao was also helpless. But it was still okay. Number 12. Number 11. Duanling Xiao. Everyone had an expression of disbelief when they heard it. Duanling Xiao number 11? It should not be. His results in the previous 2 rounds were very good. How could he be number 11? Duan Tianming frowned too. He felt that his son would definitely get into the top 10, but he was eliminated? Duanling Xiao was also completely stunned. How could he be number 11? He had calculated it. Normally, he should be number 10. However, what he was worried about really happened. It just so happened that someone had beaten him. Who was it? Apart from the 2 teams, who else had scored more points than him? Lin Xian's lips curled up. Amazing. This Zhuge Feng was amazing. He actually rushed into the top 10 alone. Feng Ling was also somewhat confused. Why? Although they weren't as strong as Lin Xian's team, logically speaking, Duan Ling Xiao shouldn't have been pushed down after defeating several SSS rank forces, right? But it did not matter. It had nothing to do with her. Feng Ling, alright. Next, let's ask these 10 people to prepare their identities and enter the land of heavenly wrath together. Wait. Duan Ling Xiao stood up at this time. He did not accept it. Lin Xian could enter the God's Awakening door, but he must also enter. Or else, why would he not be in the top 10? Do you have any doubts? Morong Feng asked. Duan Ling Xiao said, I think I should be in the top 10, but I have some doubts. And it's normal to have doubts. Then come over and take a look at the total score. If you have any doubts, we will calculate it for you on the spot. Duan Ling Xiao then walked over and saw the name of number 10. Zhuge Feng. He clenched his fists tightly. Zhuge Feng. How could he have forgotten about this Zhuge Feng? But it shouldn't be? My team defeated several SSS rank forces. Logically speaking, my score should not fall out of the top 10. Morong Feng nodded. Indeed, but although the 10th place did not defeat an SSS rank force, he defeated enough forces. His total score is indeed higher than yours by 1,800 points. Duan Ling Xiao clenched his fists. Any more questions? None. Then he clenched his teeth and walked away. Then, I will now announce the top 10. 10th place Zhuge Feng. Everyone's doubts were answered at this moment. So it was him. The one who rushed into the top 16 was him. He even rushed into the top 10. Zhuge Feng had indeed done it alone, but he did not need to split the points equally. Moreover, he had defeated more forces than anyone else. B rank, A rank, countless of them, and even SS rank. Thus his personal score barely surpassed Duan Ling Xiao's. Lin Xian laughed. Damn. The most despicable one was Zhuge Feng. He did the opposite and got 10th place. Amazing. Defeating the trashiest force, an unwanted force, and getting the highest ranking. Amazing. Chapter 1373. Zhuge Feng heaved a sigh of relief when he heard that he was in 10th place. Actually, when he wasn't in the top 20, he felt that he should be in the top 10. However, he was still worried. Now he was completely relieved. Zhuge Feng smiled and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded at him. Wow. This Zhuge Feng actually made it to 10th place. Ling Ying couldn't help but exclaim. Lin Xian nodded. Very fierce. Bastard. What a bastard. Ha ha ha, now that Duan Ling Xiao is feeling terrible. He's really going to die from anger. Ling Ying said with extreme satisfaction. That's right. People like Xiao Yin and Su Jiming had already accepted their fate. However, Duan Ling Xiao, who was in 11th place, was feeling terrible. Right, Xiao Yu, why didn't your cousin participate? Lin Xian asked. Morong Yu said. He didn't participate. Although he's strong, it's hard for him to get into the top 10. So he didn't come. That's a bit of foresight. This Morong Yen was ranked 4th in the Martial Arts Academy. Morong Yu, Qi Tianqing, Duan Ling Xiao, and Morong Yen. However, it was a good choice that he didn't come. Even if he came, he wouldn't be able to get into the top 10. Although he was very strong. However, this guy was an ex-Xian's admirer. They were engaged when they were children. Although he was taught a lesson by Lin Xian last time, Lin Xian didn't think that he would give up just like that. He didn't even come. Was he preparing for something? That's right. During this period, he frequently appeared at an ex-Xian's place. However, an ex-Xian and the others kept rejecting him. If it was only an ex-Xian would be embarrassed to reject him. However, there was also Miao Xiao Miao, Zhao Yunqi and the others. Even if they went out, they would be accompanied by the girls. 9th place, Chu He. Chu He sighed in relief. The corner of his mouth curled up as he went over to pick up his badge. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Morong Feng smiled and nodded. Morong Feng was actually quite happy in his heart. Of the 3 major powers, only his daughter had entered the top 10. The other 2 didn't enter. He was simply too comfortable. From now on, Duan Ling Xiao and Qi Tianqing might not even be able to compare to his daughter. After his daughter returned from the God's awakening door, she would definitely be able to leave them behind. The situation had changed. In the past, they were the top existences, but in the future, Lin Xian and the others would be the top existences. 8th place Feng Ling. Feng Ling then walked up. Thank you. Good luck. Morong Feng smiled and nodded. Feng Ling had also become number 1 after Lin Xian and the others. He had to admit that she was indeed strong. Actually, whether she was strong or not could be seen from her laws. She had 2 laws and also created. In this aspect, she was stronger than Morongyu. In this world, creation and destruction were the top laws. Up until now, Lin Xian had only seen 3 people, including himself, who had these 2 laws. But in the end, there was no one else who had these 2 laws. There must be. Perhaps they hadn't matured yet. Perhaps they had matured, but kept a low profile. Perhaps they hadn't even participated in the World Conference. Today, those standing here were the continent's top geniuses of this generation. However, it couldn't be said that this continent only had these top geniuses. It couldn't be said that the strongest were all here. 7th place Wang Xintong. Wang Xintong then happily ran over. Qin Feng smiled and looked at her from afar. He remembered the first time he saw her. She was too weak. In the blink of an eye, this group of children had become the continent's future saviors. There was also Lin Xian. Qin Feng looked at Lin Xian. He was the one who introduced Wang Xintong to him and troubled him to teach her. Lin Xian wasn't strong at that time. Along the way, he had created one miracle after another. The number of beautiful girls by his side had also increased. This was within reason. Although he wasn't a very handsome man, he was strong and charming. It was enough to attract the attention of girls. Wang Xintong happily held the badge. She knew that this was all due to everyone's efforts. If it wasn't for everyone, how could she have gotten into the top 10? Even the top 20 would have been very difficult. However, although this was the truth, she had also brought great benefits to everyone. Her laws, her domain, and even the main reason why Lin Xian could survive the enemy's attacks time and time again. Without the increase of 3 stars, Lin Xian wouldn't have been able to defeat his opponent even if he lowered his opponent's 3 stars. 6th place Ling Ying. The difference in points between them was very, very small. In the first 2 rounds, the difference wasn't that big. At most, it was 1,000 points. No, Lin Xian, that bastard, had crushed her in points in the first 2 rounds. 5th place Xiao Xinyue. 4th place Wu Yuhan. 3rd place Han Chuxue. 2nd place Morongyu. 1st place Lin Xian. Hiss. Actually, everyone knew this ranking in their hearts. However, when they saw it, they still felt that the world was unpredictable. Previously, in the Martial Arts Academy, Lin Xian's ranking was very low. He only managed to rise up later. However, he actually managed to maintain his 1st place under such circumstances. Morongyu was also suppressed by him. Morong Feng nodded in satisfaction. Beside him, Duan Tianming and the others weren't so happy. Their son didn't even get into the top 10. Most importantly, they should have been able to get in under normal circumstances. However, only God knew that the other 5 people in Lin Xian's team were also so strong. Furthermore, they had joined Lin Xian's team. This was fate. Even if you casually took the last place of 250 people and put them into Lin Xian's team, making it 8 people, the last place would still be able to get into the top 10, right? There was no other way. This wasn't luck. This was a person's destiny. Then why couldn't you join Lin Xian's team? Don't say things like you don't know Lin Xian and don't have a good relationship. Then why don't you know him? Then why don't you have a good relationship? This was a person's good fortune. Sometimes, meeting a person could really change a person. Ling Hai, Xiao Zun, Han Guang and the others were also looking at their daughter and future son-in-law with satisfaction. Look at you. Your sister has already gone to the God's awakening door. Xiao Zun couldn't help but say to Xiao Runing, Dad. I will work hard to raise my realm. I'm already an Empyrean now. Then your sister is almost at the virtual realm, Xiao Zun said. If Xiao Runing didn't become a teacher, she would definitely be at the virtual realm now. I know. I will go back and raise my realm properly. Xiao Runing shook her head. However, she was truly happy for them. Alright. Murong Feng then looked at everyone. The Sky Martial Assembly has ended. The top 20 have all been decided. And there's nothing else to say. I wish everyone can go further in the future. Chapter 1374. Some people were happy while others were sad. Lin Xian and the others were undoubtedly the final victors. Murong Feng then said, regarding the time to enter the land of heavenly wrath and the God's awakening door, there is no need to be anxious. It will take at least half a month and at most a month. At the same time, we will give everyone some time to rest. When the time comes, we will use some methods to contact you in advance. Lin Xian then asked, then, I wonder if we can get some information about the God's awakening door in advance, so that we can prepare in advance. Murong Feng shook his head. All right. However, we will discuss the details again. We will not talk about it here. Murong Feng said. Everyone, it is already late. Let's go back. Finally, I wish everyone can go further. The future of the human race belongs to you. We need to rely on you. You are the future of the human race. Do your best. After that, Lin Xian and the others dispersed. The Heavenly Martial Assembly did not have any rewards. The only rewards were the land of heavenly wrath and the God's awakening door. However, when Lin Xian asked Murong Feng about the God's awakening door, he did not say anything. Was it because he did not know or because he did not want to talk about it in front of so many people? Both were possible. The crowd dispersed one after another. Some of them left directly. The end of the Tianwu assembly meant that the competition between them during their youth had come to an end. However, it was worth mentioning that the quality of martial artists in this era was much stronger than before. It could be said that this era was the golden age of the human race. Therefore, the young people of this generation would become the mainstay of the human race against the demon race. They could not miss this golden age. It was impossible for the demon race and the human race to coexist peacefully. At least, the demon race's demon god temple and the myriad demon alliance had stated that it was impossible. Therefore, for the human tribe, if they wanted to live better in the future, they had to at least get rid of the myriad demon alliance of the demon tribe. Otherwise, the human tribe and the demon tribe would never be at peace, and the human tribe would always be worried about being destroyed. This was impossible. Even if the myriad demon alliance and the evil divine palace were gone, it would still be impossible for them to be at peace. Even if the demon clan did not attack the human clan might still attack the demon clan, because everyone had ambition. However, if the 10,000 demon alliance was gone, things would be much more peaceful. After all, the organization of the demon race was gone. However, even if the myriad demon alliance was gone, the demon race would definitely create a new organization. When humans fought against demon beasts, the main idea of the demon race was already in line with the idea of the humans. When the demon race fought against the humans, the main idea of the demon race was also in line with the idea of the demon race. This time, the rankings were not broadcasted live, so no one knew what their final results were, and no one knew who had entered the top 10. Xiaoying, aren't you going home for a few days after the fight? Ling Hai asked as he rubbed Ling Ying's head. No, I'll go back during the new year. Ling Ying said. Girl, you haven't been home for a year. It seems like a grown girl can't be kept at home. You're still talking about your family's Ling Ying. My daughter hasn't been home for a year. Can you believe it? Han Guang walked over and said helplessly. In the past, their upbringing of Han Chuxue was simply too strict. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to raise such a well-behaved Han Chuxue. It was a pity that she was ruined by that scumbag Lin Xian. There was nothing they could do. At that time, Lin Xian happened to save Han Chuxue outside, which had a huge impact on her state of mind. Otherwise, without that incident, Lin Xian really wouldn't know how to pursue this girl. However, Ling Ying also helped a lot. Ha ha ha, that's all for now. We're going back. You guys should also go back and rest. After fighting for half a month, you guys should be very tired. Go back and rest early. Ling Hai said with a smile. Okay. Then Lin Xian and the others stepped on the road back to the city. They first returned to Binghai City, stayed there for a day, rested for a day, and then took a plane back to Linen City. Babies, I'm back. Lin Xian went to the Bounty Hunter Guild. Zichiyue and Xi and Miao Xiaomiao, Lu Yufan, Zhao Yunqi, and Yi Yi were sitting there playing cards. Lin Xian's women were basically divided into 3 or 4 circles. Ling Ying, Murongyu, and the others were one circle, while Lu Yufan and the others were a full-time group. After Zichiyue, the heavenly consort, left the entertainment circle, she would play with them every day. She was so happy that she almost forgot about home. After so many years, Zichiyue actually felt more relaxed than ever. The other circle should be by Xuanxuan's circle. The last one was Linglong Shui and the others. Perhaps most of them knew each other, but those who were often together were called circles. Lin Xian originally wanted to see Linglong Shui and the others, but Lin Xian just happened to pass by the Bounty Hunter Guild, so he naturally came here first. The bad guy is back. Everyone, let's fight. Lu Yufan then ran to Lin Xian. Then, she looked back and saw that no one was following her. Although I really want to beat him up with you. After all, he just came back. We still have to give him some face. Miao Xiaomiao said. That's true. Then, Lu Yufan returned to her seat and sat down. Heavenly concubine, you're still following them. Lin Xian smiled and sat next to Zichiyue. She hadn't taken down this place yet. Yi Yi hadn't been taken down yet. She had to find an opportunity to take action. We're all very good friends, and I just left the entertainment circle. It's very fun to play with everyone. Zichiyue smiled. Have you decided to stay here temporarily? Lin Xian asked. Yes, I probably won't leave here for the time being. Also, I have to go out with everyone to improve my realm. Zichiyue smiled slightly. Then she looked at Lin Xian and asked, how was the competition? They had asked yesterday, but Lin Xian kept them in suspense. Yeah, Lin Xian, how did you do in the competition? Yi Yi asked. Zhao Yunqi also looked at Lin Xian nervously. Although she knew that he would definitely be fine, it was inevitable that she was nervous. First place, Lin Xian said with a smile. TC bragging. There are so many experts and you're first. I believe that you're in the top 10, but first place? Lu Yufan rolled her eyes. I'm really first. Aren't you going to treat us to a meal to celebrate? Miao Xiaomiao asked. Of course. Of course. Tomorrow. Why tomorrow? Zhao Yunqi asked in confusion. Shu Qiqi, you don't understand. He has a lot of girls outside. He definitely has to accompany other girls. Lu Yufan whispered. Lin Xian, wow. They all knew it in their hearts. However, even if they knew it in their hearts, no one had ever said anything like leaving Lin Xian. Perhaps this was the benefit of this era. There were so many martial artists in this era. Although there were rules and laws, strength was indeed very important. With strength and ability, you could make girls fall in love with you. Moreover, compared to Earth, which might be a more ordinary world, because there were warriors and martial arts here, the girls might be more accepting of men having multiple wives and concubines. Chapter 1375. Lin Xian was also very embarrassed. He had never confessed to any of them that he had more than one girlfriend. He guessed that only Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, and the others. They all knew in their hearts. It was really embarrassing. However, Lin Xian truly felt that he was very lucky. Every girl was really nice and tolerant. Cough, 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 no. Lin Xian said awkwardly. TCH. The girls rolled their eyes at him. Zichiyue also felt that it was very interesting. She had also paid some attention to the girls around Lin Xian, and then she was shocked. If they were compared to ordinary girls, it would be reasonable if they were willing. However, she found that none of the girls around Lin Xian were ordinary. Let's talk about the most ordinary girls like Lu Yufan and Yi Yi. They were also school beauties, had rich families, and had many suitors. It was just that they might not be as talented as Ling Ying and the others, but now they were extremely hard-working. It was very strange. This Lin Xian really had a kind of magical power. She even had an inexplicable good impression of Lin Xian. But where did her good impression of Lin Xian come from? Was it because Lin Xian was talented and wrote good songs? Maybe. It was because his songs resonated with her a lot. Moreover, he was such a powerful martial artist. He was the champion of the continent's Tianwu conference, and he could write such good songs. How did he come to be like this? Cough, cough, cough. Lin Xian coughed dryly. Sisters, I just arrived. Give me some face. Hey, where's that girl Lan Xingxing? Lin Xian thought of Lan Xingxing. Logically speaking, this little glutton should be with them. She seemed to have been called away by Grandpa for something. She just left yesterday. I see. Okay. Right, when will Sister Linya come back? Lu Yufan asked. Lin Xian paused for a moment. It shouldn't take too long. Lin Xian said with uncertainty. To be honest, he really didn't know. He didn't even know when he would be able to see Linya. He really wanted to tell this news to Linya. From the trash of the past, he was now the top warrior of the entire continent. He was about to break through to the great virtual realm. He really wanted to tell Linya. I miss big sister Linya. Hey, shouldn't we be talking about me today? Shouldn't you give me, the first place winner, some sort of reward? Lin Xian grinned at them. Come on, you didn't even treat us to a meal, and you want us to express our gratitude? Go. Miao Xiaomiao rolled her eyes. Let's go. Come find us when you treat us to a meal. Miao Xiaomiao pushed Lin Xian. Of course, they didn't want to let Lin Xian go, but they knew that Lin Xian must have other things to do. Otherwise, why wouldn't he treat them to a meal today? He must be looking for other girls. They understood. So Miao Xiaomiao pushed Lin Xian away. Then I'll go first. I'll treat you to a big meal tomorrow. Let's go. Seeing you annoys me to death. Yeah, let's go. An Xian chimed in from the side. Lin Xian then walked away resentfully. Zichiyue looked at these girls with a smile. She was very smart. How could she not know what they were thinking? This Lin Xian's charm was really great. He could even make girls have this kind of awareness. Amazing. The representative of scumbags. Let's go shopping? Yi suggested. Yes. Lin Xian won't treat us to a big meal today. Let's go eat by ourselves. I want to eat seafood. Mantis shrimps, hairy crabs, and prawns. Lu Yufan's beautiful eyes lit up. Let's go. It's my treat. I haven't eaten seafood in a long time. Zichiyue also said with a smile. On the other side, Lin Xian came to the Yixian group. His girls were relatively gathered. It was lunchtime in the Yixian group. All the employees gathered in the cafeteria to eat. The treatment in the Yixian group was really good. This cafeteria was the type of buffet. It was equivalent to eating buffet every day. Therefore, ever since the employees came to the Yixian group, as long as they went to work, they would never order takeout or go out to eat. Luo Chenxi and Murongqing sat in a corner and ate their lunch facing each other. At this time, Lin Xian walked over and sat beside Luo Chenxi. He secretly pinched her thigh. The two beautiful and mature women looked at Lin Xian. You're back? Murongqing wiped her mouth. The corners of her mouth lifted as she looked at Lin Xian. I just came back. The first thing I did was to meet you. Let me guess. Before you said this, you must have met no less than 4 or 5 girls, right? Murongqing said with a smile. Lin Xian, wow. Did these women know him so well? Luo Chenxi drank a mouthful of soup and wiped her mouth. She said, probably more. Don't be like this. Lin Xian said awkwardly. Wow. This group of women had quite a lot of resentment toward him. I heard from Morongyu that you won first place? Murongqing asked. Yes. Finally, they talked about something that Lin Xian was proud of. Luo Chenxi looked at Lin Xian again. She also knew what this Tianwu conference represented. She also knew what it meant to win first place in this Tianwu conference. That was quite impressive. Not bad. Murongqing looked at Lin Xian. Then, would you like to have a boyfriend that you think is very good? Lin Xian asked Murongqing with a smile. Cough, cough. Luo Chenxi drank a mouthful of soup and coughed. Bastard. Fine. This bastard was really a scumbag. In front of her, he actually... Wow. Old scumbag. Murongqing was stunned for a moment. Then the corners of her mouth lifted. You're too young. You've seen it before? I'm not talking about there. I'm talking about there. I'm done eating. You guys talk. Luo Chenxi shook her head helplessly. Eh? Let's talk together. Get lost, scumbag. Luo Chenxi said. Lin Xian. Wow. TSK. Morongqing looked at Lin Xian and smiled. When are you going to the God's Awakening door? She stood up. Half a month to a month. Okay, good luck. When you return, you should be at the virtuality realm. The little trash in my eyes in the past is now at the same level as me. Morongqing said with emotion. Then can I pursue you? Lin Xian smiled. Morongqing rolled her eyes. Get lost. Go find other girls. I won't accompany you anymore. I'm going to work. Morongqing clapped her hands and walked away. Lin Xian had a headache. This Morongqing still couldn't find an opportunity to pursue him. Although her favorability had already reached 50. To be honest, Lin Xian had never deliberately increased her favorability. 50 was actually not low. Sigh, let's talk about it later. Lin Xian sighed. There are too many chicks. How troublesome. How troublesome. Chapter 1376. On this side, Lin Xian went to buy Xuanxuan's Azura Palace. Seriously, Lin Xian's background was now managed by this group of girls. They had saved Lin Xian a lot of trouble. Lin City was basically Lin Xian's territory now. He was still acquiring and expanding. Because of the Yixian group, Lin City's development was like the sun in the sky. How should one put it? A policy implemented by the Yixian group would sweep through the entire continent. This was because the Yixian group was too big, and their reputation was simply too good. Therefore, the development of the Yixian group was unstoppable. Originally, many people had already given up on Lin City, which was on the edge of the city. One after another, they moved inland. Many people were even willing to sell their businesses to the Yixian group. Later, they found out that the Yixian group had unnaturally turned the entire Lin City into their territory. This was very strange. For a city on the edge, doing this might cause it to return to its original state. What if the demonic beasts attacked Lin City? However, the Yixian group continued to do this. This made many people feel that no one didn't know this logic. The higher-ups of the Yixian group weren't fools. Did they have some kind of confidence? Therefore, many entrepreneurs came back. Or rather, many people who originally planned to leave Lin City chose to stay. Don't be too tired. In the Azura Palace, Lin Xian and Bai Xianxian were strolling and chatting. This isn't tiring. Bai Xianxian shook her head. Each of them was doing their best to help Lin Xian take care of his background. You've worked hard. Bai Xuanxuan's beautiful eyes glanced at Lin Xian. Why do I feel like you're about to die? Ah. Bai Xianxian tapped her cheeks, then thought for a while and said, It's like I'm about to die. It's like I'm about to go to the battlefield, and I feel like I won't be able to come back. Don't tell me you've discovered a terminal illness? Lin Xian, wah, I was worried about you, but you actually cursed me like this. Do you want me to die quickly and find a wild man? Lin Xian pinched her butt. Bai Xuanxuan's beautiful face slightly blushed. I saw your child. Bai Xianxian suddenly said. Ah. Lin Xian was stunned. A few days ago, I saw a few people in the group called Linglong Shui carrying a baby out for a meal. They're carrying a baby. That must be your child, right? Bai Xianxian glanced at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes. Lin Xian nodded awkwardly. Seriously, you already have a baby. Why didn't you say anything? Ow. How would I dare to say it? Xian said helplessly. It's okay. Since everyone is willing to follow you, who would care about this? Said. Said of the said of the, s, said of the said. UUSU, s. SU's ISU. Use. Said by said, s's. S buys. S. Is there something wrong with your head? Bai Xianxian was stunned. Which man would like to be controlled by a woman? Wouldn't a normal man want a woman to not care about him? And he wanted a woman to control him? Lin Xian really wanted a woman to control him. Maybe it was because he missed Linya too much. In the past, Linya was the one who controlled him. Later on, when Lin Xian grew up, she didn't need to control him anymore. Then, all the women around Lin Xian were obedient to him. Lin Xian really missed the feeling of being controlled. Maybe this was called not appreciating one's good fortune. Cough, cough, cough. Really, I hope to be controlled by a girl. Do you want me to control you? If you're willing, I can help you. Bai Xianxian smiled. You have to be home before 10 p.m. You're not allowed to smoke at home. You can't talk when eating or sleeping. You're not allowed to bring girls home to spend the night. You have to reply to any messages within seconds. And, stop. Forget it. Lin Xian pulled his head back. Who could stand this? Bai Xuanxuan's lips curled up as she looked at Lin Xian. Hypocritical man. Bai Xianxian said indifferently. I think you're asking for a slap. Lin Xian said fiercely. Come on. Bai Xianxian gave Lin Xian a provocative look. Lin Xian. Don't force me. I've accumulated quite a bit of anger in this half a month. I'm afraid you won't be able to take it. Lin Xian. Bai Xianxian. It seemed a little scary. Forget it. I think you're in a hurry to see your baby. Go ahead. Bai Xianxian said. Bai Xianxian understood Lin Xian very well. Normally, Lin Xian wouldn't talk nonsense and would have dragged her to the room. He must be thinking of going to see his baby. Hee. Lin Xian scratched his head awkwardly. Yes, they already had a child. Lin Xian really missed them dearly. He missed Xiao Linglong and the rest more than little Shir and little Tianny. Then I'll go. Lin Xian smiled and gave her a peck on the cheek. Go ahead, hypocritical man. Bai Xianxian said. Go. I'll deal with you when I have time. Bai Xianxian smiled and looked at Lin Xian. Fine. I'll remember this expression of yours. Just you wait. Lin Xian said fiercely. Tisk. Bai Xianxian rolled her eyes. Lin Xian. I'm going. Lin Xian waved his hand and walked away. Bai Xianxian shook her head helplessly. What a playboy. Perhaps, this was what a scumbag was. Lin Xian was helpless. This Bai Xianxian, I have to teach her a lesson. But now, it's more important to see his two babies. Hello babies, I'm back. Lin Xian released his spatial energy and arrived at Linglong Shui and the rest's residence. Then, all of them turned to look at Lin Xian with their beautiful eyes. Big brother. Little Dragoni happily flew to Lin Xian's shoulder and kissed Lin Xian's face. F***ck. Lin Xian then looked at the people inside with a dumbfounded expression. Linglong Shui, Linglong Yu, Bing Ling Yue, little Shir, little Tianny, Bing. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong. But, why the F***ck is there another person? Lin Xian was stunned when he saw the person. Huangxi. Isn't this F***king Huangxi? She's the demon god from the second demon god palace. The one Lin Xian F***ed during the Tianwu conference, F***ck. Why is she here? Huangxi looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes and the corners of her mouth curved up slightly. Gulp. Lin Xian swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Originally, he came in high spirits and was very excited. Then he saw this woman. This woman is actually nothing special. But why is she here? Why? Cough you. Why are you here? Lin Xian looked at Huangxi awkwardly. Chapter 1377. Lin Xian didn't find it strange that Huangxi was able to find this place. With her ability, this is simply a simple matter. But why did she come here? And from the looks of it, she seems to be getting along well with Xiao Linglong and Xian. It seems to be okay. The corner of Huangxi's mouth curled up slightly and she let out a soft humph. It was only coming from her nose, and almost no other sound could be heard. She then looked at Lin Xian and said, Let's play. Lin Xian. The more it's like this, the more Lin Xian panicked. Xiao Longer, what is he doing here? Lin Xian whispered to Xiao Longer in his arms. Woo. Xiao Longer shook her little head. Lin Xian took a deep breath. F***ck. Who cares what she's doing here? Lin Xian is not afraid of her. Lin Xian's worry isn't because he's afraid of her. F***ck? Why should I be afraid of her? Lin Xian has already ridden this woman before. Why should I be afraid of her? Lin Xian's worry is that she's here to say bad things. What if Xiao Linglong and Xian misunderstand? Also, if I do her, will Xiao Linglong and Xian be unhappy? Lin Xian was panicking about this and nothing else. It was true. Ahem. Lin Xian coughed dryly, then under the gaze of the women he sat down next to Linglong Shui. When Lin Xian sat next to her, he felt a comfortable feeling. It's very safe, sob. I like this feeling of being protected. Don't look at me. What made Lin Xian most uncomfortable was that this group of unbelievably beautiful women were all looking at him with their beautiful eyes. Who else should we look at if not you? Yi Renbing said with a slight smile. Hey, if you look at me, I'll feel guilty. That's because you already have a guilty conscience, so looking at you will make you feel guilty, Yi Renbing said. Lin Xian pondered about something. What is he guilty about? Sleeping with girls? It's not like they don't know. Go, I want to eat. I abandoned dozens of beautiful girls just to come and see you. Lin Xian said. Young Master Lin Xian, I'm sorry, Yi Renbing said with a smirk. Ah, Lin Xian. This Yi Renbing, she did it on purpose. Bing Lingyue smiled and said, all right, stop fooling around. I'm going to cook. What do you want to eat? Bing Linglong looked at Lin Xian's beautiful eyes. Eat everything you cook. Bing, S. Huang. SS Huang, she turned to look at Bing Lingyue. Was this the reason why he liked this woman more in the past? Everyone joked with him and saw how embarrassed he was. In the end, she stood up for him and went to cook. Indeed, if she was a man, she might like this kind of girl more, and not the unreasonable girl who acted coquettishly around him. I'll go help Sister Bing. Ling Longyue ran in. Xiao Shi. Lin Xian reached out and patted Xiao Shi in Linglong Shui's arms, indicating that he wanted to hug her. They hadn't seen each other for a month. Xiao Shi was getting prettier, and looked like she had grown up a lot. She was fair and tender. When she grew up, she would definitely be a beauty like her mother. Lin Xian's beautiful eyes looked at Lin Xian. Then she pouted and turned her head proudly at Lin Xian. Lin Xian. No, this girl doesn't seem to like me very much. Lin Xian moved closer. Linglong Shui smiled. It's not that she doesn't like you. It's just that she seems to be a little resistant to the opposite sex. Then Lin Xian saw Xiao Shi reach out and kick the pitiful little Tianyi who was being bullied by her. This little girl. Lin Xian then reached out and pulled her into his arms. After being in Lin Xian's arms, she was quite obedient. Lin Xian felt that it wasn't that she was resistant to the opposite sex, but that she was too smart. She might even have been born with a high IQ, which could be seen many times in the past. Huangxi looked at this scene with envy. I'll go make some food. Huangxi stood up and said lightly. Lin Xian looked at her and said, you don't have to. And Huangxi's beautiful eyes swept over Lin Xian. Lin Xian knew how noble this woman was. She wouldn't be able to adapt to a relatively ordinary life in a short time. She was more suited to the aura of someone who could do things for her with just a flick of her finger. You're suitable for eating, Lin Xian said. Huangxi's lips curled up slightly. I'm here to play for a few days and also to adapt to human life. Don't worry, I'll leave in a few days. After saying that, she walked into the kitchen. Lin Xian then quietly asked Yi Renbing, Hey, what's going on? What's she doing here? You're asking me, but who should I ask? Yi Renbing hugged little Tianyi, played with his little hand and said, Lin Xian. Lin Xian held Xiao Shi's little hand and then looked at Linglong Shui. She's here to find Lingyu. They seem to know each other before. Although Lingyu can't remember, she still knows you, Linglong Shui said. Yi Renbing definitely knew who Huangxi was. She was also very surprised that Huangxi came here, okay? This Lin Xian, not only did he make her 10th demon god temple disappear, but now he also wanted to make the 2nd demon god temple disappear? This myriad demon alliance is really pitiful. Let's see if you still dare to let a woman become a demon god in the future. This wasn't a big deal. The main thing was that if a woman became a demon god, who would have thought that a mere human would take both of them? Have you done it? Yi Renbing asked. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. I swear, she really seduced me really. TSK. Bing couldn't be bothered to talk to Lin Xian anymore. This person's luck with women was really good. Linglong Shui pondered for a moment. She just came here a few hours ago. We were just chatting, but Linglong Shui was the one who released Bing Lingyue with Lin Xian. Linglong Shui clearly knew that Bing Lingyue liked Lin Xian. No. Maybe it was Lin Xian's past life. So this woman knew Bing Lingyue and took the initiative to seduce Lin Xian. There was only one possibility: she was similar to Bing Lingyue. She also liked the same person back then, which could be considered as the current Lin Xian. This couldn't be helped. This was really good luck with women. Then are you going to let her stay here? Lin Xian asked. It doesn't matter, but she doesn't seem to want to stay. Didn't she say that she's only here to play for a few days? Who knows, maybe she'll stay for a lifetime. You can ask her yourself, we don't know. Dragoni flew to Lin Xian's side and sat down obediently. She didn't understand what these adults were talking about. It's good to be a child, no worries at all. Lin Xian smacked his lips on Little Shurshu's pink cheeks. Little Shurshu then wiped away Lin Xian's saliva in disgust. Chapter 1378. Linglong Shui looked at Lin Xian and asked, "How are the results of the Sky Martial Assembly?" "First place." Lin Xian smiled. "Not bad." "Wow. You call this not bad? Your realm is rising very quickly too. You're almost at the virtualization stage," Linglong Shui said. Lin Xian nodded. "But after reaching the virtualization stage, it's really hard to raise your realm," Linglong Shui said. "I know." Lin Xian nodded. "I heard that it's very dangerous inside the God's Awakening door." Earbook looked at Lin Xian and said. "It's said that many people have never come out after going in," Lin Xian said. "You'll definitely have to go. Be careful." "Got it." Lin Xian grinned. "How long?" Earbook asked. 3 months. Lin Xian said. "It's said that you can only stay in the God's Awakening door for a maximum of 3 months. If you can't come out in 3 months, it means that you've died," Lin Xian said. 3 months. When you come out, Little Shurshu will probably be gone. Earbook looked at Lin Shurshu in Lin Xian's arms and said. "Yes, but her father can't do anything. Her father has to raise his strength." Lin Xian held her little hand and swung it back and forth. "Forget it. You'll only be there to pick up girls," Earbook said. Hey. In order to see these 2 little guys, I really resisted too many temptations and came straight here. I swear," Lin Xian said. "Little Tianny, you can't be a scumbag like him in the future, okay? Men, it's best to be loyal to girls." Earbook held Lin Tianny's little hand and taught him earnestly. Lin Xian. "Uncomfortable? Then I'll go and help you cook." After Lin Xian finished speaking, he handed Chica over to Linglong Shui and walked into the kitchen. "I want to eat noodles," Lin Xian said as he pinched Bing Lingyue's butt from behind. Bing Lingyue blushed slightly and said, "Let's have a proper meal. Let's cook." "All right." Lin Xian nodded. Lin Xian glanced at Huang Shi, who was beside him, as her movements seemed particularly unfamiliar. "Elder sister." Huang Shi frowned and turned to look at Lin Xian. "What is it?" "Your celery, not celery leaves." Lin Xian was shocked when he saw Huang Shi washing the vegetables. She left all the celery leaves behind and threw the rest away. Although celery leaves were edible, under normal circumstances, leaves were not eaten. Huang Shi was embarrassed. She really didn't understand. For so many years, it was really her subordinates who served her. But she really wanted to be like Bing Lingyue. She also wanted to be similar to her because she knew that he would like such a girl more. Actually, Lin Xian wouldn't be like this. He was really different from that Lin Mo. On the contrary, Lin Xian liked Huang Shi's high and mighty temperament even more. She sat on the throne calmly, her slender fingers tapping lightly, her cheeks propped up, her slender legs crossed, and she gave orders casually. This feeling suited her more. "Let me do it," Lin Xian said. Huang Shi then handed the things to Lin Xian. "Just wait for the food obediently," Lin Xian said as he cut the vegetables skillfully. "Yes, you are a guest," Bing Lingyue said with a smile. Huang Shi glanced at Lin Xian and Bing Lingyue. At this time Lin Xian said, "Also, you don't have to learn how to cook. I prefer the feeling of being scared when I first see you." "Oh, scared?" Huang Xi's lips curved up slightly. "It's the feeling of being noble." Huang Xi was slightly stunned. Sure enough, he was him and Lin Mo was Lin Mo. You could say that Lin Xian was selfish, or you could say that he was a scumbag. But in fact, this made her feel more at ease. Then Huang Xi walked out. "What's wrong?" Ling Longshui asked. "Do you think I'm stupid?" Huang Xi said with a smile. She was very calm. "No, I won't," Ling Longshui said with a smile. She knew Lin Xian very well. How could he dislike such a beautiful and noble woman? "Miss Huang Xi, do you want to settle down here? We can stay here. You can stay with Ling Yu in Lin Xian's house. Ling Yu sometimes lives there alone. You can accompany her," Ling Longshui said. When she heard Ling Longshui's words, Huang Xi was really tempted. They were both that person's women, and they were both very strong and noble. They must have a lot to talk about. However, she still had the whole second Fei God temple. She felt that it was not good for her to appear here so suddenly. If she came here, it should be considered as completely changing her life, right? But she really felt that it was quite amazing. The Void Fox and the 10th Fei God Temple's Fei God had given birth to babies for him. She was quite envious. And for him, they could return to a very ordinary life. "No, I'll come here often to see you when I have time," Huang Xi said with a smile. "But you won't be an enemy of the human race, right?" Bing asked. "The 10th Fei God? No. Miss E, you're thinking too much. Although I'm in charge of the 2nd Fei God Temple, even without this matter, my subordinates haven't attacked the human race for a long time," Huang Xi said with a smile. "Then it's fine. Sit down and drink tea together. Do you want a hug?" Bing looked at Huang Xi with a smile. Huang Xi was stunned. "I'll try." Then she walked over, bent down, and gently picked up little Tianny. At this moment, she felt the beauty of the world. If you really can't, you can give birth to a child for Lin Xian. At that time, even if you're not here, at least you won't be lonely in the 2nd Fei God Temple, right? Bing said with a smile. Huang Xi was stunned for a moment. Then she smiled and shook her head. "I'll just go with the flow." They chatted a lot. Lin Xian and Bing Lingyue also chatted a lot in the kitchen. "Food is here." Lin Xian and Bing Lingyue carried out the dishes one by one. Then, little Shishir and Tianny's eyes lit up. Intense light. Unfortunately, only little Shishir could eat a little bit of watery food. They could only drool and smell the delicious food. Every day, they were so hungry that they were about to cry. Wah wah wah. Delicious, delicious. What's more, Dragoni is always screaming and flying around in excitement when they eat good food every day. This is a test of their mental fortitude. Finally, I can eat Big Brother's delicious food again. Dragoni sat there happily. Lin Xian said with a smile. "Then eat more. I made a lot." This meal was very harmonious. Lin Xian also liked this kind of life. But when they were eating, Lin Xian received a message. Chapter 1379. This message was sent to Lin Xian by an anonymous person. The message was very simple. He wanted Lin Xian to meet him at the Rose restaurant in Lin and City at 10 o'clock in the evening. Who was this person? There was also a mark left behind. When Lin Xian saw this mark, he knew who it was. The Evil Fiend Temple. He was a member of the Evil Fiend Temple. That mark was the exclusive mark of the Evil Fiend Temple. Lin Xian had joined the Evil Fiend Temple. Of course, he only joined because he wanted to escape from danger and carry out some plans against the Evil Fiend Temple. Now that the Sky Martial Conference was over, the Evil Fiend Temple probably wanted Lin Xian to do something. This was inevitable. If Lin Xian didn't cooperate, they would even use some forceful methods and threaten Lin Xian's life to make him do something. After all, in the eyes of the Evil Fiend Temple, Lin Xian and the others had taken the poison pill. Their lives were already in their hands. If Lin Xian and the others wanted to live, they had to listen to them. In fact, the poison had been cured by Lin Xian long ago. They definitely wouldn't have thought about it. "I'm going out for a while," Lin Xian said. "What's the matter?" Ling Longshui asked. Lin Xian laughed. It's nothing. Then Lin Xian walked away. The poison in Leng Wuxin's body was cured by Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian poisoned her with his own poison. Therefore, she was very obedient recently. Moreover, she was getting along well with Bai Xianxian. However, Lin Xian didn't see Leng Wuxin when he came back. As for why she didn't come out to see him. When he arrived at the Rose restaurant, Lin Xian sat in the corner. When the time was up, a woman in flirtatious clothes walked in front of Lin Xian and sat there. Lin Xian glanced at her. Sky Venerable Realm. Mr. Lin Xian. The woman smiled and extended her hand to Lin Xian. Lin Xian reached out and shook her hand. I'm Zhang Qiu. Lin Xian nodded. What business do you have with me? Zhang Qiu smiled and said, First of all, congratulations to Mr. Lin Xian for getting first place in the Tianwu conference. You don't have to say such things. Congratulations, I didn't see you bring me any gifts, Lin Xian said. The corner of Zhang Qiu's mouth twitched, and then he smiled awkwardly. It's like this. The Evil Fiend Temple needs some support from Mr. Lin Xian. Zhang Qiu said. Lin Xian chuckled. What do you mean? I didn't join the Evil Fiend Hall to work for you for free. I didn't get any benefits from the Evil Fiend Hall, and now you want my support? Are you kidding me? Zhang Qiu smiled and said, That's true. We pay attention to mutual benefits. Then, if Mr. Lin Xian needs anything, you can go to the Evil Fiend Hall and discuss it with the elders. After all, Mr. Lin Xian, you do have the capital. Because they believed that Lin Xian's life was in their hands, and Lin Xian's loyalty was absolutely assured, unless he didn't want to live anymore. And it wasn't just Lin Xian, his women were the same. Therefore, the door of the Evil Fiend Hall was opened for him. Give me an address. After I'm done here, I'll personally go to the Evil Fiend Hall, Lin Xian said. No problem. As for the address, Mr. Lin Xian knows it's in the Tiandu Xiao family. I won't give the Evil Fiend Hall's token to Mr. Lin Xian. When the time comes, an elder will give it to you. Lin Xian nodded. It might take some time because I have to make a trip to the Wind Nation first. Can't you go to the Evil Fiend Hall first before going to the Wind Nation? Zhang Qiu asked. Lin Xian thought for a moment. We'll talk about it later. All right. Then I'll go and contact the elders first. Goodbye. After that, Zhang Qiu walked away. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. After going to the Xiao family, I have to think of a way to take a picture of the evidence of the Evil Fiend Hall. This way, the three great forces can take action and directly suppress the Xiao family. However, what is the approximate strength of the Evil Fiend Hall? Lin Xian then stood up and walked towards Bai Xianxian. He had to ask that woman Leng Wuxin. Second elder. Zhang Qiu dialed a number in a corner. How is it? I've contacted Lin Xian. What he means is that the Evil Fiend Hall hasn't given him any benefits yet. It's too much to ask for something from him. This Lin Xian is quite bold. His life is in the hands of our Evil Fiend Hall, and he still dares to make a request. Then, threaten him directly? Zhang Qiu asked. No need. Lin Xian is different from the others. This person has great potential and can bring great benefits to the Evil Fiend Hall. It's best to maintain a good relationship with him and wait until his value is almost used up. Yes. When will he come over? Zhang Qiu said. He said that he might want to go to the Wind Nation. Humph. The other side snorted coldly. This Lin Xian has such a big card. F***ck. His life was in their hands, and he still dared to show off here. Maybe he knows that his value to the Evil Fiend Hall is very high, so. The old man pondered for a moment, then nodded. That's right, he's a smart person, but it doesn't matter, there's no rush. Looking for him is nothing more than using the Art Pavilion group. It was just that Lin Xian's attitude made him very unhappy. It wasn't like they begged Lin Xian to come over. Your F***king life is in their hands, and you're still acting like this. You're really awesome. Little did they know that Lin Xian was beating them at their own game. The day Lin Xian went over was the day their Evil Fiend Hall would be exposed. Destroying the Evil Fiend Hall in a city was nothing, but destroying the Evil Fiend Hall was amazing. However, Lin Xian wasn't in a hurry. Whether to go to the Evil Fiend Hall or the Wind Nation first was still uncertain. Let's go out for supper? Bai Xianxian stretched and looked at Leng Wuxing beside her. Sure. Leng Wuxing nodded. As soon as the two beautiful women walked out of the door, they saw Lin Xian walking towards them. Seeing Lin Xian, Leng Wuxing frowned slightly. Bai Xianxian was very surprised. Why are you here? Don't you need to accompany others? Bai Xianxian asked. I'm here for something. I knew it. Bai Xianxian rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. If this person didn't have anything to do, he wouldn't have come over. Then Lin Xian looked at Leng Wuxing and asked, what's the approximate number of experts in the Evil Fiend Hall? You want to go? Leng Wuxing asked. Don't worry about it. She was speechless. Let's go for supper, Bai Xianxian said. Sure. The few of them went to the restaurant's private room. Leng Wuxing then said to Lin Xian, I'll only tell you what I know, and what I know is only at the level of a few years ago. Because I haven't been to the Evil Fiend Hall for the past few years, I don't know much about it. Lin Xian nodded. And as long as I know. Leng Wuxing then pondered. Chapter 1380. I won't talk about the unimportant members of the Evil God Fire Palace. If it's the Empyrean realm, there are more than 1,000 of them. These are the members who can rush over in the vicinity of the Evil God Fire Palace. Lin Xian nodded. There are about 300 people in the higher void stage. Are they all in the Xiao family? Lin Xian asked. No, although the Xiao family is the headquarters of the Evil God Fire Palace. How could all these people be in the Xiao family? Some of the people in the nearby Xiao family's businesses are also here. There is a huge space under the Xiao family, and that is the real Evil God Fire Palace. It is very, very big. Lin Xian nodded. What about the Heavenly Dao? I'm not sure about the Heavenly Dao, but there might be. Might. MN, the Hall Master of the Evil God Fire Palace, might be the Heavenly Dao. It's also possible for the Great Clan Elder, but the others definitely aren't. This is what I know a few years ago, and it doesn't include the Xiao family. Leng Wuxing said. It's not easy. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. These experts aren't many, but they aren't few either. With the capital of the three great forces, they can easily deal with them. However, the more difficult thing is, the Xiao family is in the downtown area. If a battle of this level were to break out, and if the Heavenly Dao were to be involved, the destruction of the commoners would be unimaginable. Bai Xianxian said. Lin Xian nodded. Amen. As long as I have an idea in my heart, I will go over and take a look when the time comes. You're going over? They all looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Lin Xian took a sip of wine and grinned. Right now, I am a member of the Evil God Fire Palace. The two girls. Did you meet one of them? Lin Xian nodded his head. Furthermore, they ate the poison pill, but they definitely would not have thought that the poison pill's poison had already been cured by me. Yet they were extremely confident that they had already controlled my life and death. Leng Wuxing secretly shook his head. The Evil God Fire Palace was definitely going to be destroyed by this Lin Xian. It was truly an unwise choice for the Evil Divine Palace to provoke him. But who would have thought? Lin Xian then looked at Leng Wuxing and said, Don't even think about telling anyone. The poison pill in your body is similar to the one you ate from the Evil Fiend Hall. If you have any thoughts of rebellion, you'll die as well. Bai Xianxian said to Lin Xian, Recently Wu Xian has contributed a lot to the Azura Palace. Leng Wuxing said nothing. Forget it. We'll talk about it later. I'm going back first. Lin Xian pinched Bai Xianxian's butt and ran off with a mischievous smile. Bastard. Bai Xianxian gritted her teeth. By the way, why are you willing to be his woman? Leng Wuxing asked this question for the first time. Why? Bai Xianxian was stunned for a moment, and then she smiled and said, It can be considered a trade, right? A deal. He saved my grandfather. In return, I choose to follow him. I see. His medical skills are amazing. Leng Wuxing had to admit. Yeah, he solved a problem that the entire continent couldn't solve. The demon race's virus, my grandfather's illness, and the poison pill from the Evil Fiend Hall. I really don't know where he learned all these from at such a young age. Pass it on, Leng Wuxin said. Other than passing it on, I can't explain anything else. Let's eat. Uncle Morong. On the other side, Lin Xian returned home. He didn't go to Ling Long Shui's place because Lin Xian had other things to do. Little Xian, what's the matter? Morong Feng was chatting with Lin Xian through a video call. He looked at Lin Xian with a smile. Morong Yu happened to be standing behind Morong Feng. She was brewing tea, and she looked like she was cultivating her character. Morong Yu's light blue eyes glanced at Lin Xian, but she didn't walk over. Yes, it's about the evil fiend hall. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Morong Feng's expression became serious. He looked around and looked at Morong Yu. Little Yu, go and close the door. Okay. Morong Yu closed the door. Some of the girls came back with Lin Xian, but Morong Yu followed Morong Feng back to the Morong family. After all, she would be leaving for 3 months, so she decided to accompany her family. What happened? Morong Feng looked at Lin Xian. Your daughter knows about it too. Morong Feng glanced at Morong Yu. Morong Yu then said, before we left the Sky Martial continent, we met people from the Evil Fiend Hall and ate their poison pill. What? Hearing Morong Yu's words, Morong Feng shouted out. But father, don't worry, the poison pill's poison was cured by Lin Xian. What? In a few seconds, Morong Feng was shocked twice. Then Morong Feng looked at Lin Xian in shock. Lin Xian can cure the poison of the Evil Fiend Hall's poison pill? He asked in disbelief. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, it was cured. Morong Feng was stunned. The matter that the entire continent couldn't do anything about was solved by Lin Xian? But thinking about it, this wasn't the first time. This brat, what kind of existence was he? Lin Xian, the temple is willing to pay any price to obtain the formula for the antidote. Lin Xian smiled and said, no problem, but there's no need to pay any price. If I do something that benefits the human race, I'll be able to accumulate some merit. Morong Feng looked at Lin Xian in shock, but he still hadn't calmed down. When the time comes, I'll send the formula to Morong Yu, and Morong Yu will give it to you. Okay. Morong Feng nodded excitedly. This kind of thing really made people excited beyond imagination. The poison pill was gone, which was equivalent to the Evil Fiend Hall's 8 legs being broken. But I want to talk about another matter now. Speak. Morong Feng looked at Lin Xian. The people from the Evil Fiend Hall didn't expect me to be able to cure this poison. Therefore, in the eyes of the people from the Evil Fiend Hall, Morong Yu, Ling Ying, and the others are members of the Evil Fiend Hall. Morong Feng nodded. The Evil Fiend Hall is located in the Tiandu Xiao family. What? The Xiao family is the Evil Fiend Hall? Lin Xian shook his head. No, the Xiao family is the headquarters of the Evil Fiend Hall. The Xiao family is a member of the Evil Fiend Hall. Humph. Morong Feng clenched his fists. His eyes flashed with anger. After a while, I will go to the Evil Fiend Hall. At that time, I will think of a way to find out some information about the Evil Fiend Hall, and bring out evidence. The rest will be left to Uncle Morong. Don't worry. It's enough for you to do this. Leave the rest to us. Lin Xian nodded. Wait. Morong Feng suddenly thought of something, looked at Lin Xian and said, Lin Xian, do you want to play a bigger game of chess? Lin Xian looked at Morong Feng. Morong Feng lit a cigarette, then stood up and slowly paced back and forth. The Evil Fiend Hall is one of the 5 great halls of the Evil Fiend Hall. The real powerful one is the real Evil Fiend Hall, and you have the opportunity to explore the location of the Evil Fiend Hall. Just the Evil Fiend Hall alone is not enough. If we can find the Evil Fiend Hall. Lin Xian understood Morong Feng's meaning. But they want my art pavilion group. I'm F*King losing so much. Chapter 1381. The Yixian Group's assets were truly unimaginable. Their appetites might be relatively small at the beginning, but their appetites would definitely get bigger and bigger later on. Furthermore, to the Yixian Group, they might want 5% or 10% of the shares, but you couldn't imagine how much 10% of the Yixian Group's shares were worth. Although it was indeed beneficial to the continent, but Morong Feng coughed dryly and said, It's like this. During this period of time, all of the Evil Fiend Shrine's requests for the Yixian group will be compensated by the three major powers. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. That's fine. Morong Yu helplessly sighed behind him. This Lin Xian. Morong Feng felt that Lin Xian would definitely be put in an important position by the Evil Fiend Shrine. With his background, his talent, and the #1 in the Sky Martial Assembly, he would definitely be put in an important position. In the future, he would definitely become an important person in the Evil Fiend Shrine. Unless the people in the Evil Fiend Shrine were idiots, they would definitely go and nurture Lin Xian. This Lin Xian was an existence that even the three major powers wanted to fight over. However, Morong Feng looked at Lin Xian and said, "It's like this. Because the Yixian group's technology is not below the continent, I'm worried that the Evil Fiend Shrine might want to borrow some of the Yixian group's abilities to research and develop some things. Do you understand what I mean?" Lin Xian nodded and said, "Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. And I believe you. I'll leave the Evil Fiend Shrine to you." Lin Xian smiled and said, "Don't forget that your daughter is also a member of the Evil Fiend Shrine." Morong Feng glanced at Morong Yu behind him and said with a smile, "She won't be more important than you." Although Xiao Yu is backed by the temple, the Evil Fiend Shrine is actually afraid of letting her do anything. Because the Evil Fiend Shrine also knows what kind of existences are in the temple, they are also worried that they will be exposed. Lin Xian nodded and said, "Then I'll hang up first. I have to sleep. Good night." "Good night." Lin Xian smiled and said, "I'll tell your daughter." Morong Feng. Morong Yu. Lin Xian then hung up the video call. Morong Feng rubbed his temples and looked at his daughter. "Little Yu." "Dad." Morong Yu very politely looked at Morong Feng. "When we reach the God's Awakening door, if possible, it's best to stay with Lin Xian," Morong Feng said. "I'll walk by myself," Morong Yu said. Morong Feng shook his head and said, "This little brat is not simple. He has a lot of luck on his body. If you travel with him, it might actually be safer. You might even obtain more opportunities." Morong Yu was silent. If it's possible, it's best to go with him. Although the God's Awakening door is a place where one can obtain good fortune through praying, it's also a very dangerous place. If I had been soft-hearted, I would have been killed by her. Bai Xianxian understood this. After spending some time together, she felt that Leng Wuxi was quite good. She was cold on the outside but warm on the inside. "Let's go take a shower." "What are you doing? Aren't you going to find her?" Bai Xianxian glanced at Lin Xian. Lin Xian smiled evilly and hugged her slim waist. "Let's go together." Bai Xianxian. "Damn. This scumbag. Bastard. Hee, since you said that I am a bastard, I will definitely be a bastard in front of you. Let's go." Then, Lin Xian carried her and ran to the room. Bai Xianxian. When Lin Xian brought Bai Xianxian to Leng Wuxin's room, Leng Wuxin, who had just taken a shower, was stunned. She frowned. This Lin Xian, it was not the first time he forced himself on her. Now he even brought Bai Xianxian in. What was he doing? Chapter 1382. Lin Xian looked at Leng Wuxin, who had her hair draped over her shoulders. To be honest, this woman was indeed top-notch. "Go take a shower." Lin Xian slapped Bai Xuanxuan's butt. Bai Xuanxuan's face flushed red. "Bastard." She gritted her teeth. Go. If you don't go, I'll do you on the spot." Lin Xian glared at her. Bai Xianxian glared at Lin Xian, then walked into the bathroom helplessly. Lin Xian then looked at Leng Wuxin, and sat on the edge of her bed. Lin Xian glanced at Leng Wuxin, but she didn't look at Lin Xian. She was very angry. This person was really an animal. She couldn't do anything, but why was Bai Xianxian so obedient to him? Oh right, Bai Xianxian had told her that they were more likely to be lovers in the past. "How do you feel here?" Lin Xian patted the edge of the bed beside her. Leng Wuxin acted as if she didn't see it. She stood there and said indifferently, "It's all right." "Compared to your previous life?" Lin Xian asked. "It's better now," Leng Wuxin said. This was indeed the truth. Previously, she couldn't even live a normal life. She even had a lot of pressure. But now, she realized that she didn't have any pressure. Every day was so easy and comfortable. Although she didn't have any cultivation during this period, she was exceptionally relaxed. Then stay here from now on, Lin Xian said. We'll talk about it later, Leng Wuxin said indifferently. Lin Xian patted his leg. She glanced at it and acted as if she didn't see it. Lin Xian chuckled, then slightly released his power. Leng Wuxin's figure disappeared on the spot and sat on Lin Xian's lap. But you're still not very obedient. Lin Xian's hands started to move. Leng Wuxin gritted her teeth. Although she had been with Lin Xian several times, but when Bai Xian walked out of the bathroom, she gaped at the scene before her. This Lin Xian is simply a beast. The next morning, Lin Xian opened his eyes and yawned. The two long-legged beauties were sleeping soundly. Lin Xian sat up and stretched. I can't take it anymore. When he completely retired in the future, there would be so many beautiful girls around him. How would he be able to handle all of them? He couldn't withstand it at all right? Bai Xian's long eyelashes trembled slightly before she opened her beautiful eyes and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian glanced at her, then smiled and said, I'll go make breakfast for you. Soon, 3 large bowls of seafood noodles were served by Lin Xian. Bai Xian had already woken up. Leng Wuxin was still wearing her pajamas, but she opened her eyes when she smelled the scent. Let's eat, let's eat. Bai Xian casually put on a loose set of pajamas. She didn't even have pants on. Then, she got up and sat down to eat the seafood noodles. Leng Wuxin, on the other hand, was dressed neatly and walked over. When she tasted the noodles made by Lin Xian, she couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. Try it and see. Wu Yuhan gritted her teeth. Aha. Lin Xian had breakfast last night. Wu Yuhan had already washed up and dressed. Her beautiful eyes glanced at Lin Xian's noodles, then she sat down and ate them in small bites. Lin Xian realized that all the girls liked to eat his noodles because they were indeed delicious. Especially Lan Xingxing the day before. When she ate Lin Xian's delicious noodles, she was so touched that tears flowed down her cheeks. By the way, regarding the matter of reconstructing the body, I asked yesterday. Lin Xian looked at Wu Yuhan and said. To be precise, he was saying this for Wu Yunhua. That's right. Linglong Shui had many experts at her side. All of them were at the Heavenly Dao Realm, or the Great Void Realm. They were knowledgeable and were practically invincible. Therefore, Lin Xian had asked them and received an accurate answer. What did they say? Wu Yuhan looked up at Lin Xian and asked. It's possible. The method to reconstruct the body isn't difficult. They can do it, but the difficult part is finding the heaven and earth spiritual items needed to reconstruct the body. Lin Xian. What do they need? Wu Yuhan asked. She wanted to get Wu Yunhua out of her body as soon as possible. It was too annoying. Chapter 1383. Lin Xian knew that Wu Yuhan was helpless. Logically speaking, if it wasn't for her sister, Lin Xian really didn't know how to take down Wu Yuhan. Just leave whatever you need to me. They will also search for it. It's just that some are especially hard to find. When the time comes, we might have a chance to find it in the God's Awakening Door. If the heaven and earth spiritual power in the God's Awakening Door is higher than in our continent, then it's easier to give birth to stronger spiritual items. Wu Yuhan nodded. She also knew that even if she knew what it was, she wouldn't be able to help. Then, I'll have to trouble you, Wu Yuhan said. Lin Xian glanced at her and smiled. We're already an old married couple. You're still saying thank you to me? Wu Yuhan. She turned her head to the side. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know how many days we'll be in Feng Empire. The sooner the better. And then the two of them changed into simple clothes and set off for the airport. Ling Ying and the rest were very unhappy. They also wanted to go. Why didn't he bring them along? In Lin Xian's words, the things they were going to do this time would be more secretive and low-key. They would try their best not to get into a conflict. They were going there to fork over some things, not to get into a fight. Then Ling Ying and the rest expressed that they couldn't go over to play. They weren't going with them. Then they were rejected by Lin Xian. God knows what happened in Feng Empire. Lin Xian didn't dare to let them go and let them stay in Lin and city to play. So in the end, only Lin Xian and Wu Yuhan went to Feng Empire. The two got on the plane and flew to Feng Country. The flight to Feng Country took about a day, but the two booked a first-class cabin, the kind with a bed, and it was similar to a private room. Only the two of them were in an exquisite room about 20 square meters. Speaking of which, how much do you know about Feng family and Chu family? Lin Xian laid on the bed and waved at Wu Yuhan, who was sitting there. Wu Yuhan knew what Lin Xian was asking about. She suspected the Feng family and Chu family who killed her Wu family back then. It wasn't just suspicion, she already investigated a lot of things. She wasn't sure about the Feng family, but she was very sure about the Chu family. Otherwise, when she saw Chu Feng and Chu He, why was she unable to control her anger? Wu Yuhan zest. I've told you that the Feng family and Chu family are famous assassins' families. That night, the Feng and Chu family are famous assassins' families. That night, from my sister's memories, and the Chu family. That night the family. The families, the Chu family. S's. As for the Feng family, Wu Yuhan said, I'm not sure. My sister said that night, there were clearly two people with very different bodily martial skills. However, she couldn't remember the second one clearly. She said it was definitely not inferior to the Chu families, and only the Feng family could compete with the Chu families. However, because she couldn't remember clearly, I can't be sure whether it was the Feng family or not. However, I'm sure it was the Chu family. However, I lack evidence. Also, I want to know why. Lin Xian sighed as he laid there. In this world, the only thing that can make people disregard their own safety and even slaughter a top-notch family is profit. So, when the time comes, I must go and investigate. I hope it's as you said, that my family left something behind at the Wu family's old site. Wu Yuhan glanced at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes. Yes, Lin Xian guessed like that. Of course, it was only a guess. The Wu family in Feng Country wasn't on the same level as the Feng family or the Chu family. The Chu family and the Feng family were considered T2 ranked families. Because Feng Country and Hua Country's governance methods were different, Hua Country was more restrictive. It was rare to see a family controlling a city in Hua Country. If Lin Xian wasn't special, it wouldn't work if he wanted to control Lin and city in Hua Country. However, in Feng Country and other countries, you would see many situations where a family controlled a city. The Feng family and the Chu family weren't like this. They were two of the four major families in Feng Country's imperial capital. However, these four major families were much stronger than Hua Country's Tiandu's 8 major families. As for the Wu family, it was only a first-rate family under the four major families. In terms of strength, it was about the strength of Hua Country's Tiandu's 8 major families. Logically speaking, this kind of family shouldn't pose any threat to the Feng family or the Chu family. However, this was only a guess. They made a move against the Wu family and didn't hesitate to slaughter the Wu family. The only thing Lin Xian could think of was that something in the Wu family had been discovered. Moreover, this thing was very powerful and very important. Hence, these people didn't hesitate to do this. Let's go and take a look. Anyway, we're going over for this matter, Lin Xian said. Come. Lin Xian smiled and waved at Wu Yuhan. Wu Yuhan glanced at Lin Xian and ignored him. Oh-ho! The corner of Lin Xian's mouth curled up, revealing a mischievous smile. Then he released the power of space, and Wu Yuhan disappeared on the spot, reappearing on the bed. Lin Xian reached out and hugged her. Wu Yuhan. You. Beauty, the road ahead is long. Why don't we do something serious? Lin Xian then pressed her under his body. Bastard! This was a beast. However, just as Lin Xian stripped Wu Yuhan naked, there was a knock on their door. Lin Xian. Wu Yuhan hurriedly put on her clothes and tidied up her messy hair. Who is it? Lin Xian shouted. Damn it! Extremely unhappy. Sir, there's a storm ahead. Therefore, this flight has to make an emergency landing. What? Lin Xian jumped off the bed and opened the door. The beautiful flight attendant smiled at Lin Xian. Sir, there's a storm ahead. It might last for 2 to 3 days. We'll make an emergency landing in Liuzhou City and wait for the storm to pass before heading to Feng Country. Lin Xian rubbed his forehead. Understood. Thank you for your understanding. Lin Xian closed the door and walked in. Not good. This isn't a smooth start. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. It's normal. During this season, there are frequent large storms at the border between Feng Country and Hua Country, Wu Yuhan said. What storm? Why don't I know about it? Wu Yuhan said. A storm that lasts from 1 to 2 days to a week. During the storm, there will be lightning, heavy rain and even hail. During the storm, Liuzhou City and the nearby cities will need to activate the city's defensive barrier. Otherwise, the flood will submerge the city and the hail will destroy the city. The entire city will be destroyed. Lin Xian. There's such a thing? That's too exaggerated. A storm that submerged the entire city? Wu Yuhan nodded. I encountered it once when I returned to Feng Country. It's the same as now. Look. Wu Yuhan pointed outside. Chapter 1384. Lin Xian looked in the direction that Wu Yuhan was pointing at through the window. Then he opened his mouth wide. F***CK. The sky in front of them was already filled with dark clouds. This wasn't just a matter of the dark clouds. The dark clouds were unimaginably thick. Lin Xian had never seen such thick dark clouds in his life. It hadn't rained yet, but the clouds were already filled with lightning. The dark clouds covered an area even further than the city, and they were about to make an emergency landing. Are you sure these dark clouds aren't formed by some kind of energy? Lin Xian asked. Wu Yuhan said. It happens every year. At first, everyone thought that it might be a problem with the climate here. However, the 3 major forces came to investigate this matter. After all, activating the barrier that protects the entire city consumes a lot of resources. They discovered that it might be due to some kind of thunder attribute heaven and earth spirit item. A lightning-type heaven and earth spirit item? Lin Xian's eyes suddenly lit up. He really wanted it. Furthermore, a lightning-type heaven and earth spirit item of this level should be an extremely powerful existence. However, we couldn't find it. Some people thought it might be underground in Liuzhou City. Some people thought it might be somewhere near Liuzhou City. However, it was strange that we couldn't find it. Logically speaking, if it's a very powerful lightning-type heaven and earth spirit item, we should be able to find it. Unless it's very deep underground. Therefore, many experts would try to find it here every year, but they would all return empty-handed. After all, the city doesn't allow some people to dig so deep. Wu Yuhan said. Let's go to Liuzhou City to take a look. Lin Xian said. If there really was a very powerful lightning-type heaven and earth spirit item, Lin Xian would be very excited. Can you find it? If there is, I can definitely find it. Lin Xian said. Don't forget that he had the Eye of Cave Spirit. The Eye of Cave Spirit could detect even the slightest fluctuation of heaven and earth spirit chi. If there really was one, it would be very easy to find it. To others, it would be unimaginably difficult. However, if there was one, it would be too easy for Lin Xian. After the plane landed in Liuzhou City, Lin Xian and Wu Yuhan walked out of the airport. The entire Liuzhou City was covered in darkness. It was only noon, but Liuzhou City was already drowsy. The citizens of Liuzhou City were already used to such scenes. How are you going to find him? Wu Yuhan looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes. He found it inconceivable. So many people had come here to look for it, but they couldn't find it. However, this Lin Xian said that he could find it. Well, what he said seemed to be very credible. After all, this Lin Xian was not simple in her eyes. Lin Xian activated his Eye of Cave Spirit. I have my ways. Lin Xian smiled mysteriously at Wu Yuhan. Wu Yuhan did not show any expression. Follow me. What surprised Lin Xian was that the heaven and earth spiritual energy in Liuzhou City was indeed higher than normal cities, but not by much. After all, the city was so big. However, Lin Xian could see the direction of the spiritual energy. Therefore, he had to go to the place where all the spiritual energy gathered. That place should be where the heaven and earth anomaly was. Of course, that might not be the case. The thing that caused the heaven and earth anomaly might not be the thing that Lin Xian found with his Eye of Cave Spirit. However, since it was here and fate forced them to descend, it was a kind of fate for Lin Xian. After that, Lin Xian released his spatial energy and brought Wu Yuhan to that place. At this moment, Liuzhou City's extremely remote Burial Mountain welcomed all kinds of experts. Burial Mountain was one of the more famous places in Liuzhou City. Why? This place was deserted. It was located a few kilometers away from a highway with very few cars. This place was undeveloped. There was no one within a dozen kilometers. Even if it was a detour, most people would not use this highway. As its name suggested, Burial Mountain was a graveyard, and it had thousands of years of history. It was said that thousands of years ago, this was a small village. This Burial Mountain was where the villagers were buried after they died. Later on, the entire village died overnight. There were many versions of the reason, but no one could verify it. Later on, to Liuzhou City, this Burial Mountain mysteriously became a very famous burial place. They even felt that burying the dead here was a noble way of burial. Therefore, more and more people were buried here many years ago. It might not be less than 100,000, or even a few 100,000. Until now, Burial Mountain was even controlled by Liuzhou City's #1 family, the Liu family. If anyone wanted to bury the dead here, they had to first buy a piece of land. A few square meters, a few 100,000. They also had to pay the burial fee. In any case, if you wanted to bury a dead person here, it would take at least 1 million. Even so, there were still many rich people who had already bought a place to bury their dead. It was Burial Mountain. Thinking about it, it was funny. No one dared to come here because it was said that this place was very scary. Not only was it because of the dead buried here, but it was also said that anyone who entered here, of course, was an ordinary person. After they came out, they would not be clear-headed and would die within a few months. Martial artists were fine. There was no problem. Some people had come to investigate, but they could not find anything. At this moment, there were no less than 100 people gathered on Burial Mountain. These people, from their clothes to the things in their hands, were all rather strange. Chapter 1385. After the man in his 20s finished speaking, the surrounding forces nodded in agreement. That's right. The Sima clan invited all of us here to help out. A woman from the Liuhua manor with fiery red hair and dressed in tight clothes said as she stepped on a stone with one foot. That's right. The Sima clan is a warlock clan and Changyin Mountain is a Daoist faction. They're both proficient in warlocks and divination techniques. If Changyin Mountain can divine the location of the heaven and earth spiritual energy, so can the Sima clan. Moreover, the Sima clan should be able to divine more than the seniors of Changyin Mountain. We were all invited here by the Sima clan because they divined that although the heaven and earth spiritual energy is here, there's a great omen tonight. Someone from the Qin clan said. Patriarch Qin, are you saying that Changyin Mountain is inferior to the Sima clan? Venerable Changyin glanced coldly at the middle-aged man. No, that's not what I meant. The various forces and families in Liuzhou City are all very powerful. They all have their own roles and abilities. Although Changyin Mountain is also a warlock clan, the Sima clan is more proficient in divination techniques. Naturally, Changyin Mountain has other areas that the Sima clan and other forces can't compare to. The patriarch of the Qin clan was quite respectful. However, although he put it nicely, the smell of gunpowder was too strong. After all, there could only be one heaven and earth spiritual energy. They were indeed invited here by the Sima clan, but according to the Sima clan, it would depend on everyone's ability to obtain the heaven and earth spiritual energy. Therefore, they were relatively fair. Every force had a chance. Although they all knew in their hearts that the Sima clan was using them as tools. What harm was there in doing so? Changyin Mountain had been searching for the heaven and earth spiritual energy for decades, and the Sima clan had been searching for it for decades. They only found its exact location this year. This could only mean one thing. The grade of this spiritual item of heaven and earth had definitely reached a very exaggerated level. Divination techniques had taken so many years to lock onto its location, but they didn't know what it was. The more difficult it was, the more it proved that the heaven and earth spiritual energy was heaven-defying. Humph. Venerable Chang Yun snorted coldly and did not say anything else. At this time, the Lu family master smiled and said, "Everyone, please calm down. Seniors from Zhongyan Mountain, this matter concerns the life and death of the entire Liuzhou city. The reason for this terrifying storm every year is because of the spirit item of heaven and earth. Everyone, please raise your heads and take a look. Such a terrifying phenomenon. Even the city has no choice but to release a powerful barrier to resist it. Let's not talk about anything else. For the sake of our city, the place where our ancestors have lived for hundreds of years, it's best for everyone to unite and work together. Patriarch Sima, please tell us the specific situation." The Sima family patriarch glanced at his son who was standing there in deep thought, and then said, "Everyone knows that my son Sima Yan is the top genius of the Sima family in the past 500 years. In the art of divination, he possesses the talent of the Sima family's ancestor. In the history of the Sima family, only the two of them have this level of talent. Moreover, the ancestor has already fallen 1,000 years ago. Today's matter was divined by my son. Sima Yan is an extremely handsome man. His ability, if he participated in the Heaven Martial Assembly, he would definitely be ranked 8th, or even 9th. But he did not participate. Why? Because he divined that if he went to the God's awakening door, the chances of him dying would reach 90%. Therefore he did not go. The Sima family and the Zhuge family are the two greatest warlock families. Sima Yan and Zhuge Feng can be considered old rivals. Sima Yan took a step forward and swept his gaze over everyone. Everyone's gazes were focused on him. Sima Yan then said, "According to my divination, the phenomenon around Liuzhou city originates from a lightning-attributed spirit item of heaven and earth beneath our feet. It should be a type of divine lightning. Its grade is very high and it is rarely seen in the world. It might have been sealed here thousands or even tens of thousands of years ago. In recent years, its power has rebelled and gradually loosened, causing this phenomenon. As for this spirit item of heaven and earth, even if I didn't divinate it, it should have been born soon. It is because it is about to be born that I was able to divinate that it is beneath disorderly burial mountain." He paused for a moment before continuing, "But these are not important. What's important is that any top-grade heaven and earth spiritual object will definitely be guarded by a powerful demonic beast or devil creature. It may even be in deep sleep with the heaven and earth spiritual object. Therefore, there should be a powerful demonic beast underground. According to my prediction, once the heaven and earth spiritual object is disturbed, other things will happen. This is also why even though my Sima clan knew about this, we did not dare to come alone, and had to bring so many forces with us." "What danger will there be?" Lu family's Yagawa Ji asked. Yagawa Ji is also a top-grade warlock and belongs to this generation. Of course, he is slightly inferior to Sima Yan. However, if he participated in the Heaven Martial Assembly, he should be able to get into the top 15. Everyone, don't forget where this is. This is Disorderly Burial Mountain. Since ancient times, many corpses have been buried here in Liuzhou city. There is no problem with modern corpses, but many corpses have been buried here for decades, centuries, or even millennia. There is no lack of former generals, ministers, nobles, and even warriors." Sima Yan paused for a moment, then continued, "And this spirit item of heaven and earth has refined these corpses for hundreds of millennia. These corpses are already extraordinary. You are saying that they will awaken? How is that possible? Even if this spirit item has been refining these corpses for many years and gives them spirit energy, it cannot give them the ability to move. At most, these corpses will not rot for many years." Someone said. Sima Yan shook his head. "I don't know either, but the result of my divination is that they will awaken. It is even very dangerous." Hiss. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Could it be a demon beast that is sleeping with the spirit item underground? Flowing Fire Manor's Manor Lord said. "It is possible. Demons are dozens of times more sensitive to the spirit energy of heaven and earth than humans. This kind of spirit energy should be able to attract demons. So, what is everyone's decision?" More than 100 people exchanged looks. This left them trembling in fear. What's there to be afraid of? Our various family clans and factions are already here. There are no less than 40 people at the Great Void Realm. The lowest realm is at the Heavenly Venerate Realm. Could there be a Heavenly Tao Realm demon underground? Ha ha ha. Heavenly Tao Realm? It's indeed impossible. There's really no need to worry. Everyone, let's prepare to take action. Chapter 1386. The Heavenly Tao Realm was an extremely terrifying existence. Tell me, for a Heavenly Tao Realm to slumber for thousands of years? Based on what? And why? This was illogical. Furthermore, it was not easy for a Heavenly Tao Realm existence to appear. The Heavenly Tao Realm of various Fey beasts and demons was much harder to grow than a human's. Due to their lifespan, the Fey beasts that had the qualifications to advance to the Heavenly Venerate, Great Void, and Heavenly Tao Realm had extremely powerful bloodlines. And for such Fey beasts with powerful bloodlines, they aged 1 year every 100 years. For humans, they lived 1 lifetime every 100 years. However, there were pros and cons to each. For example, a Fey with a powerful bloodline might need thousands of years to reach the Heavenly Tao Realm. Look at Linglong Shui. She was also a figure from 1,000 years ago. She was only at the Heavenly Tao Realm. She had the world's top bloodline, but she still needed a very long time. Therefore, could there be a Fey of that level underground? The possibility was too low. Hey. Slow down. Wait for me. Hold my hand. I'm afraid. Just as they were about to discuss, a voice sounded from behind. Everyone looked over. Everyone who knew about this operation was here. Naturally, this matter wouldn't be spread out. After all, although it might be dangerous, the more people there were, the more competition there would be. Yes, they seemed to be cooperating now. However, everyone knew that if the heaven and earth spiritual treasure were to come into being, every person and every force would fight. Of course, the premise was that the heaven and earth Fey was worth it. But now there was a voice coming from behind. It was very odd. No one would come to such a place. Hold my hand. Quick. I want to hold your hand. Lin Xian said to Wu Yuhan with a shameless smile. Wu Yuhan was really having a headache. This Lin Xian was the embodiment of shameless scum. Ah. She was convinced. Tell me, you've already seen through it. Is there really a need to hold my hand on such a difficult path? It was already raining. Although the enchantment had isolated 80% of the rain and lightning, 20% was still considered moderate rain. This mountain was covered in soil, grass, and trees. Furthermore, it was raining. It was extremely difficult to walk, yet you still wanted to take advantage of it. She was convinced. Holy sh*t. Did he King not bury it properly or something? Why is his hand sticking out? Lin Xian was about to continue taking advantage of Wu Yuhan when he suddenly turned his head. Damn. There was a hand sticking out of a tombstone that looked quite old. Although it was only 1/3 of a finger, wasn't it scary? What made Lin Xian feel strange was that this was really a dead person. His hand didn't rot. Then, he and Wu Yuhan looked up and saw that there were pairs of eyes staring at them. It was late at night, the light was dim, and they were in disorderly Burial Mountain. Suddenly, a group of people appeared in front of them. Wouldn't that be scary? F***ck. Lin Xian was shocked. To be honest, even if they were warriors, they would certainly be somewhat afraid of ghosts. Even if it was a demon beast of the Heavenly Venerable Realm, or the Absolute Void Realm, they wouldn't be afraid. After all, those were existences that they knew. However, things like ghosts were illusory, and the unknown always made people more afraid. You two are? Qin family patriarch Qin Tianyu looked at Lin Xian and Wu Yuhan and asked. The light was too dim and the surroundings were too noisy. There was only the sound of wind and rain, so they couldn't see each other clearly. Hearing human words, Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. They weren't ghosts. However, F***ck. He was here to look for treasures. Why were there so many people here? Lin Xian used his Eye of Cave Spirit to investigate. Holy sh*t. They were all in the Heavenly Venerable Realm or the Absolute Void Realm. There were even many that he couldn't detect. For example, The one who spoke proved that he was at least 6 stars of the absolute void realm. We're here for a vacation. Lin Xian grinned and said. The corners of their mouths twitched. Vacation? Vacation your mom. Hee hee hee, little brother. This is Disorderly Burial Mountain, a place where people are buried. You're here for a vacation in the middle of the night? Even if you want us to believe you, we won't believe you. Then what are you doing here in the middle of the night? Lin Xian asked. Looking at the stars. Lin Xian. Wow. This was even more ridiculous than him. Hee hee, since you two are here, come on up. Qin Tianyu smiled and said. They were just 2 juniors. Even if they were here, what did it matter? On the contrary, they could be used as a fighting force. Even if they died, they could help them deal with some enemies, right? In any case, they definitely didn't have the qualifications to fight for the heaven and earth spiritual items. Lin Xian and Wu Yuhan looked at each other and walked over. When Wu Yuhan fell into their line of sight, many of the men's eyes suddenly lit up. Although it was dim, they were close enough to see Wu Yuhan's cat clearly. This woman was simply unbelievably beautiful. Sometimes, how could one prove whether a man was outstanding? In fact, the simplest way was to look at the woman beside him. The more outstanding the woman beside him was, the more outstanding the man would be. However, even if these 2 juniors were quite outstanding, so what? After all, they were just juniors. After that, they ignored Lin Xian and Wu Yuhan. The 2 of them walked to a corner. Lin Xian sat on a rock and pulled Wu Yuhan to sit on his lap. This made Wu Yuhan extremely helpless. Now, what should we do to make the heaven and earth spiritual item appear? Lahuashan Manor's owner asked Sima Yan. Lin Xian frowned. F***CK. They were indeed here to look for the heaven and earth spiritual item. However, F***CK. For so many years, no one had been able to find it or confirm its location. Why did they happen to be here when he arrived? Seriously. Sima Yan said. The most important thing now is to confirm its location. Next, I'll set up a spirit gathering array. When the time comes, I'll need everyone here to release enough energy in the array. When the time comes, the spirit gathering array will condense the surrounding spiritual energy. With the help of this spiritual energy, there's a high chance that the heaven and earth spiritual item will appear. Everyone nodded. No problem. Hey, did none of you pay attention to this thing? Lin Xian pointed at a place at the back and said. That place was the grave mound where the hand had just reached out. At this moment, Lin Xian took a look. F***CK. The hand that had just reached out was only 1/3 of the fingers. Now an entire hand had silently reached out. Everyone looked over. As expected, everyone's brows furrowed. So everyone, please be careful. After the spirit gathering array is activated, our enemies will appear. That you're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.